anti-sermon for you today. Oh, I have a new song for you today. I'm really excited. So hopefully we get some people in here, but it doesn't matter how many people we get in here because I'm still going to share my new song and my sermon with you. I'm really excited. Also, I have so many announcements. Okay, not Sunday. I'm sorry, Sunday is Super Bowl. The following Sunday, though, I have Godless Engineer on Decon Q&A with Crystaljae. And the last Sunday in February, I have Thinker. She has rescheduled with me. And next Wednesday, I will be on Mama Bash's channel on Station Head, and we're going to talk about my music. So I'm really excited. I feel like playing my new song right now, even though there's only 4 people. I'm so excited about this song. Okay, come on. Let's start up so we can get the YouTubes going. I already have the song stuck in my head. You guys, I love it. Should I just go ahead and play it while we're getting people in here? Are you guys as excited as I am? I don't know how to restart it though. Okay. Wow. Okay, you guys, I'm going to play it even though there's nobody in here yet. Because I like it so much. I'm so excited. Okay, here we go. This is my new song.
Block, blockity, block, block, block. Bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah. If this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit the block. You know you should. Did I make you mad? Did I piss you off? Don't like the way I mock and scoff. You mock a pro-ice, anti-LGBT, Nazi adjacent, transphobe energy, misogyny baked in your theology, supremacy culture wrapped up as morality. If that's you, don't wait, don't debate. Hit that block now, bitch. Don't hesitate. Don't stall, don't fake. I didn't come to play. Ain't got time to fuck with you today. Motherfucker, if you won't engage, if you won't look twice at the words I say, then hit that block, do it clean, do it quick, no comments, no sermons, no last minute tricks. You think I need your God to be whole and pure? I'm atheist, feminist, solid and sure. I ain't into the grift, it's all a facade, it's a patriarchal system, so does God. Block me, bitch, don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now, ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick round. Block me now. Block me now. Yeah, pro-ice, pro-Trump, red head on display. Same playbook as the KKK. You cheer for K, just call it law. Where the fuck is the line drawn? If you rather fund wars than feed the kids, if you voted for a 34-time convicted felon, if you couldn't vote for a woman to save your life, hit block now, bitch. Exit right. Oh fuck, I said a naughty word. I see you strangling on your pearls. This song's vulgar, yeah, so is hate, so is power hoarder behind church and state. Supremacy ain't culture, it's rot. Silence ain't peace, it's blood. You capitalism feeds bombs, not bread, and you call that values? Nah, block me instead. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now. Ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick. Block me now. Block me now. You gon' better ahead and block me now. I'm not shrinking. I'm loud as fuck. I'm still here, bitch. So now what? This ain't politics, this is belief. If my morals hit nerves, find your relief. No essays, no cries, no back and forth. Hit block. Hope your access to door. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate. I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my fucking brow.
Oh my God, I don't know. I just love it. I don't know. I might have to just replay it. Yeah, I've been working on it for a little while. And then this morning I just had a very, like strong creative surge where I was like, I think I could finish this song today. And then I was supposed to start at 10, but then I had to do some re-edits in the studio and stuff to get it right. And then so that's why I was late. But I think it was worth it because it's pretty killer. If you are friendly, I see lots of friendlies in the chat and you want to come up and hang out today, please feel free. I hate being alone. Girls Gone Wild, y'all can come up. Ursa May, you're welcome. Sunny, Tahir, Tris, anybody wants to come up. Silly Goose, hi, how are you? Yeah, guest box is open. So come on up, hang out with me. Did I say Girls Gone Wild again? Do you know how many fucking times I say the funniest shit like that? How many times did I not remember Shattered Foundations and I called it all kinds of names? It's Girls Gone Godless, although they probably have gone wild. I would go wild with Girls Gone Godless. I would seriously go wild with Girls Gone Godless. It would be so fun. Actually, I live not far from them. So I'm hoping to get together with them sometime, maybe have a big, fat little 420 moment or something. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna, oh, yay. Yeah, I like Friends. I like Friends. Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm tapping and I'm tapping. I'm tapping and I'm tapping.
Well, I might play that song again, and then y'all could tap to the beat because I've only listened to it a few times since I finished it.
Oh, you got a new one?
Yes. Okay. Well, okay. See? You didn't hear it, so now I'm going to play it. Here we go.
All righty
this
then.
is Block Me.
Block, blockity, block, bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah. If this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit the block. You should. Did I make you mad? Did I piss you off? Don't like the way I mock and scoff. You MAGA, pro-ICE, anti-LGBT, Nazi adjacent, transphobe energy, misogyny baked in your theology, supremacy culture wrapped up as morality. If that's you, don't wait, don't debate. Hit that block now, bitch, don't hesitate. Don't stall, don't fake, I didn't come to play. Ain't got time to fuck with you today. Listen, motherfucker, if you won't engage, if you won't look twice at the words I say, then hit that block, do it clean, do it quick, no comments, no sermons, no last minute tricks. You think I need your God to be whole and pure? I'm atheist, feminist, solid and sure. I ain't into the grift, it's all a facade, it's a patriarchal system, so does God. Block me, bitch, don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now, ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick around. Block me now. Block me now. Yeah, pro-ICE, pro-Trump, red head on display. Same playbook as the KKK. You cheer for K, this call it law. Where the fuck is the line drawn? If you rather fund wars than feed the kids. If you voted for a 34-time convicted felon. If you couldn't vote for a woman to save your life. Hit block now, bitch. Exit right. Oh, fuck. I said a naughty word. I see you strangling on your pearls. This song's vulgar. Yeah, so is hate. So is power harder behind church and state. Supremacy ain't culture. It's rot. Silence ain't peace. It's but. You capitalism feeds bombs, not bread. And you call that values? Nah, block me instead. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my brow. If that block don't stick, block Hope your access to door Lambo. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate. I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my fucking brow.
Hey, Sunny.
Sweet.
Hey, that is amazing, and I need that like ASAP so I can share it across all of my social media accounts. Like, I need that.
I will be putting it out there probably tonight because I'll get on some kind of creative thing, make some video for it, and then
Yeah, I
you
need
know,
that
I'll
for
put it up.
my leave and dance posts that I've been doing lately.
Well, the thing was, I was telling Mama Bash one day that I finally came out to everybody on Facebook because I haven't used Facebook in years except to go to Marketplace. But I started thinking like, press down on the host screen. I started thinking like, hey, maybe I should use Facebook every once in a while or something because TikTok, you know, is turning into some kind of shit, right? So I was like, but before I do, I should maybe come out to the people on Facebook who are all maggots, right? And so like I made 2 posts. I think I could probably read them to you, like because they were both basically like, if you don't, you know, this is who I am, and here I'll read them to you. What did I say?
What did you say now?
I know.
I
I'm always
love
saying
Atheist
something.
Crystal.
Atheist
love
Crystal is a
you.
better person.
We got
She
the
really
same
is.
energy.
So I said, if you support Trump, if you support ICE, we are not friends. We are not family. Please block me. This is not just political differences. We have different morals. I do not sit at tables with Nazis. Never will. That was the first post. And then I thought, I think I should be a little more clear.
So you going for the repeat offender status, I can tell. You do it.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm there. It's fine. Repeat offender.
So I said, I am no longer a Christian. I haven't been for some time. Again, if you don't like that, please feel free to block me. I'm an atheist and I help people deconstruct from Christianity and harmful religions. P.S. If I was still a Christian, there is no doubt I would think Trump is the Antichrist. Those of you who support him are worshiping an idol. And then I was telling Mama Bash about it, and she goes, oh my God, that's your next song. You have to write a song called Block Me.
Block
I was
me.
like, oh my God, I will.
Nice. So that's how that came about. Cool.
Yeah.
That's always
So
good to
that
have
is
the
why I wrote that.
backstory. I like the backstory.
Yes, and today I have a really good sermon for everybody. Let me see if I can.
We're doing
what's the easiest way for me to find it, though? An anti-sermon. And my anti-sermon podcast drops on Wednesday, at least on Spotify. I don't know how to do it everywhere yet, I don't think. But it is dropping on Spotify podcast. So you can check out Anti-Sermons, AUNTIE. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God. You can check out Anti-Sermons at on Spotify podcasts, starting on Wednesday at 12:01 a.m. So like right after midnight. And then on Wednesday during the day, I'm going to be on Mama Bash's Station Head, which is her station head is Yaya BB, which is like YAYABEEB, I think. And she does a deconstruction like radio show over there on Station Head. It's a free app. Go check it out. Everybody who comes and visits and listens to the stories and listens to the music with us, the show is like 1 hour long. I think it's at like 10 a.m. on Wednesday. I'll double check for you guys. But everybody who joins, I get like those plays count for me as streams. So it's a fun way for you guys to hear the stories behind the songs and hear the songs and then to help me get more streams. Oh man, any topics today for Girls Gone Godless? I have topics. Again, why aren't there more one-eyed Christian men around, you guys? I want to know this. Like, why do they keep telling women to dress, to dress more modestly instead of poking out their eyeball? Because Jesus said, poke your damn eyeball out. That's what he said. And I want to know why they're not doing that. And if it's just metaphorical, then maybe everything is metaphorical, and we could quit telling women that they have to be virtuous, because maybe that's fucking metaphorical too. That's my opinion.
And I'm sticking to it.
Speaking of that, I saw a Dan McClellan video that was saying that nowhere in the Bible does it say that women need to cover up. When it speaks of modest dressing, it's talking about being modest as not showing your wealth. So, like, nowhere in the Bible is it saying women can't, like, that need to cover their head or
Oh, that's
besides the
right.
when first in church. But nowhere in the Bible is it saying, like, women can't dress a certain way. It just says be modest in your dressing, as in don't show overt displays of, your money.
Right.
That, you know what? I feel like I have heard that
I've
before,
read
but
that. Where
that
have
is,
I read
I
it?
don't know why I didn't retain it. Obviously retaining things are, I need to retain these
Yet
things.
We need
All right.
retainers for our
I'll post some
brainies.
in Discord, but Dan has like 3 or 4 videos on that very topic. So it's really good to
That's
have when you
really
want to
cool.
throw it in the face of a mog.
Yeah, for sure. You guys share out the live. Let's try to get 20 people in here. Thank you so much for those 8,600 likes very quickly. I need 14 more shares if we can get those up really quick, because every time we share, once we get 100, it starts boosting me out. Restarts don't work for me. Hey, Artie, good to see you. I just have to have people share and like and do those things. I think I want to make a new gift goal today, though. Oh, I have some kind of flash goal first, though. But I can't pin it for some reason. Oh, okay. Well,
Is it being slow?
I don't know. No, it just says you can't pin this.
Oh,
I
well,
don't know
screw
why.
you, TikTok.
Yeah.
I've been wrestling with the Catholic Church that baptized me lately, and I'm just posting what they send me in the emails, and they're trying to tell me they can't, what is it? Oh, they don't want to void my name out of the book they sealed me into with that old man, because of it it'll mess with the historical record. And so I'm arguing that, hey, look, it would be more historically accurate if you just put a line through it like nurses do,
Yeah.
if there's a mistaken documentation thing going on, they'll put a line through it, and then they'll make a little note and say, this is why, and then they'll initial it. And all they need to do is put a line through my name and just put like voided, at request of the victim. I feel like, 'cause I didn't want
Yeah.
to be married to no old man when I was 2 months old. What the hell?
That is crazy.
Yeah, but they're throwing me flack, so I'm throwing it back.
Good for you.
Wait, I'm
I'm
sorry,
really
did you say
glad.
being married at 2 months old?
But that's what a baptism basically is. They christen you, and you
Oh,
are
got it.
sealed into
Sorry.
the book of
Yeah, I got it.
of death.
You're married to Christ,
The book
Yeah.
of death with the blood cult, and they seal you into the freaking book. I was 2 months old. I had no, and they have such a problem with consent.
They do.
The only thing the women had to say, I don't know why I was talking with the women. I was like, you know what? You're not even supposed to be doing this. I need to talk with your husband or your pastor, the
Exactly.
archbishop or somebody higher up than you, ladies. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I hope they just, and I'm telling them they need to give me an apology letter for doing that. I was like, no, you guys really have a hard time with consent.
I don't know why it won't. Hey, Dr. Joe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It won't let me do a goal. I mean, like it will, but it's weird. It's not the way it normally is, and I can't figure out how to
It won't let
change
you.
my gift goal. So,
Oh,
we'll try to figure it out. So, maybe it's because I
okay.
have that flash goal going on right now. I don't know. But you guys, we almost have 20 people in here, and I'm really excited about today's anti-sermon. So, come with me. No, do you guys watch that guy? Dottie, who goes, come with me to New York City. No, we're going to go to Genesis. We're still in Genesis with the women, okay? We're still there. But we are at Dinah today. And I say Dinah because that is the actual pronunciation in Hebrew. Breezy, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. The other day, I was so happy when I saw you on live. But I'm going to say her name as Dinah today because one, that is how we say it usually in the United States. And two, I'm going to mention other people who spell it the same way, Dinah, but they pronounce it Dinah. And so for fluidity and continuity, I'm just going to say Dinah. Okay. But, hey, Aaliyah, welcome in. You guys, if you're friendly and you want to come up, the guest box is open. I'm going to start today with my anti-sermon, and it is on Dinah or Dinah in the Bible. Okay. We are in Genesis 30:21. Afterward, she bore a daughter and named her Dinah. Dinah's introduction is brief because it isn't meant to explain her. It's meant to position her. The verse places a name into the story long before it tells us what that name will cost her. The text plants her here and trusts the reader to remember her when judgment finally comes due. And that judgment is already embedded in her name. Dinah is the feminine form of the Hebrew word din. Din is not a moral concept. It is a legal one. It refers to a dispute, a verdict, a judgment rendered by those with authority. This is courtroom language, not character language. And the feminine form matters. Her name does not mean that Dinah herself will be judged. It means the judgment will happen through her. She is not the one standing before the court. She is the case the court will use. From the moment she is named, the story signals this. What happens to Dinah will not end with justice for her. It will become the mechanism by which others decide guilt, punishment, and righteousness. I'm going to invite you up, Rav. Hopefully you can come up. I just started. Dinah is not judge. Dinah is the judgment. Every time Dinah is named, Genesis 30:21, afterward, she bore a daughter and named her Dinah. Genesis 34:1. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out to visit the women of the land. Genesis 34:3. Then his soul was drawn to Dinah, daughter of Jacob. He loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. Genesis 34:5. Now Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, but his sons were with his cattle in the field. So Jacob held his peace until they came. Genesis 34:13. The sons of Jacob answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully because he had defiled their sister Dinah. Genesis 34:26. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the sword and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went away. Genesis 46:15. These are the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Paddan Aram, together with his daughter Dinah. In all, his sons and daughters numbered 33. This is the synopsis of Dinah's story, and it's an interpretive reading. Dinah's story is contained almost entirely in Genesis 34, but it begins earlier and ends with her voice it ends without her voice ever being heard. She is introduced at her birth in Genesis 30:21 as Dinah, the daughter of Leah and Jacob. Nothing else is said about her until she appears again as a young woman in Genesis 34:1. Dinah goes out to visit the women of the land. This is the first action attributed to her in the text. Shechem, the son of Hamor, says Dinah seizes Dinah, seizes her, and lies with her. Ancient Hebrew does not have a single word that translates to rape. So the text describes the act instead. Seizing signals force. Meaning is carried by the action itself. This is the same way Scripture handles other crimes. There is no direct word for murder, only unlawful killing, and we understand what that means. The absence of a modern label does not soften what happened to Dinah. After the assault, Shechem expresses a desire to marry Dinah and asks his father to negotiate with Jacob. Here is how I read what happens next. I do not think Jacob or Dinah's brothers were primarily outraged because Dinah was harmed. I think they were enraged because the man who raped her was not an Israelite. He was an outsider, and he had damaged what they considered to be their property, their daughter, their future wealth, their standing. While Jacob and his sons negotiate, Dinah is not removed for her safety. She remains in Shechem's house. Her body becomes the leverage. The text only tells us that Dinah is taken out of Shechem's house after the massacre, which means that during the planning and negotiation, she is left with the man who raped her. None of this is centered on her care. None of this is about her healing. It is about money, honor, and disgrace. About the fact that someone from outside the tribe touched one of their women. Marriage is proposed, not as a restoration for Dinah, but as a way to resolve a boundary violation. The demand that emerges is circumcision. The outsider must become physically marked like Israel before intermarriage can be permitted. The text attributes this proposal to Dinah's brothers, but it arises from within Jacob's household, and Jacob does nothing to stop it. I do not read this silence as neutrality. I read it as consent. The men of the city agree. Now picture what happens next. Not as a distant Bible story, the way you remember the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones. At the Red Wedding, Robb Stark believes the conflict is settled. The alliance is restored. People are inside, unharmed, eating, drinking, laughing. Music is playing. Guards are relaxed. Hospitality is assumed to be protection. Then the signal comes. The doors close. The safety turns into slaughter. Genesis 34 moves with that same rhythm. Circumcision in the ancient world was not symbolic. It was debilitating. Days of pain, days of swelling, days where movement hurts and defense is slow. These men are not on guard. They are recovering. They trusted the agreement. They are home, off, alert, laid up. The ancient equivalent of being flat on their backs with ice packs between their legs and no expectation of flight. This is not two armies meeting in battle. This is vulnerability exploited on purpose. Like the Frey and Bolton men drawing hidden blades among wedding tables, Simeon and Levi move through a population that cannot defend itself. No warning, no duel, no chance to prepare. Trust is the weapon that makes the strike possible. Celebration at the Red Wedding turns into terror in seconds. Negotiated peace in Genesis 34 turns into bloodshed just as fast. Only after the city is destroyed do the brothers take Dinah out of Shechem's house. Only after vengeance is complete is her body retrieved. The text still gives us no words from her, no fear, no relief, no anger, no grief. When Jacob finally speaks, his concern is not centered on Dinah's assault. He rebukes his sons for endangering the family by provoking surrounding peoples. The problem for Jacob is fallout, not harm. Dinah disappears from the narrative. Her final appearance is in Genesis 46:15, where she is listed among Jacob's children who go to Egypt. No further commentary is offered on her life. Dinah's story begins with her being named and ends with her being counted. In between, her violation becomes the pretext for calculated betrayal and slaughter, while her own voice never enters the record. Rabbinic teaching, victim blaming, and why it still matters. Rabbinic teaching about Dinah does not speak with one voice, but a disturbing pattern emerges in how some midrash handle her story. Instead of asking what was done to Dinah, some interpretations focus on the phrase, she went out. As if movement itself were wrongdoing, her presence, not the violence against her, becomes the moral question. The harm done to her is quietly reframed as the result of her behavior. Some midrash go further and shift blame backward onto Leah, suggesting that Dinah inherited a tendency to go out. In these readings, responsibility slides away from the man who seized her and settles instead on female movement, female visibility, and female autonomy. That is victim blaming. At the same time, rabbinic discussions often devote far more attention to evaluating the actions of Simeon and Levi than to the harm done to Dinah. The debate centers on whether the men of the city were legally liable, whether collective punishment was justified, and whether the massacre was lawful. Dinah's pain is not the focus. Her consent is not the focus. Her safety is not the focus. Her violation becomes a legal prompt and a moral excuse, not a human crisis. These interpretive moves did not stay in the ancient world. When religious traditions ask, why was she there instead of why was she harmed, they teach communities how to think about sexual violence. They teach whose behavior is interrogated and whose excused. They shape how judges, pastors, and leaders weigh harm. That logic is still with us today. Not long ago in Canada, a young woman walked into a courtroom seeking justice after she had been raped. And what she got was something worse than silence. The judge, who was supposed to hear her case, asked her why she didn't just keep her knees together. Suggests that sex and pain sometimes go together. And referred to her throughout the trial as if she were the one accused. Every question he asked was steeped in the very logic that minimizes violence against women, that interrogates the survivor instead of the perpetrator, that treats fear and trauma as if they were competent failures or personal responsibility. The humiliation of that process was so blatant that the judge eventually resigned, but not before the courtroom made the victim feel like she was on trial for her own assault. That reaction did not come from nowhere. It comes from the same pattern we see in Dinah's story and in cultures that have grown up around texts like hers. Systems that minimize violence, that prioritize protecting institutions and perpetrators, and that spend far more energy worrying about the conditions of the survivor than about the violence done to her. When we ask a woman why she went somewhere, why she didn't fight harder, why she didn't behave differently, we are not seeking truth. We are repeating an ancient pattern and blaming the victim and exonerating the powerful. And that is the same logic that left Dinah voiceless in her own story. When you victim blame, you don't just misread an ancient text, you re-victimize real people in the present. Dinah is judged twice, once by the violence done to her and again by the interpretations that refuse to center her harm. That is not ancient history. That is present day. Christians' teaching and the myth of male retribution. In much Christian teaching, Dinah's story is reframed as a story about retaliation done on her behalf. The focus is placed almost entirely on her brothers. They are cast as strong, decisive, and justified. Their violence is preached as understandable outrage, proof that when a woman is harmed, good men will rise and make it right. This is how the story is often made to function. Dinah's brothers become the heroes. Their anger becomes the righteous. Their violence becomes protective. And that reframing does important work. Women are taught often indirectly that this is why they need male authority, because men are the ones who will handle things. Men are the ones who will avenge. Men are the ones who respond when women are harmed. And because men are framed as the protectors, women are told they must remain submissive, obedient, and under male covering to be safe. But that is not what the text shows. Dinah's brothers do not remove her from danger. They do not ask her what she wants. They do not seek justice for her they do not seek justice for her healing. They leave her in the house of the man who raped her while they plan. They use her body as leverage. They carry out violence that has nothing to do with her recovery and everything to do with male honor. Christian teaching often calls the vengeance for Dinah. Christian teaching often calls this vengeance for Dinah. The text shows vengeance for men. And here is where the contradiction becomes impossible to ignore. Christian theology later teaches that love is not vengeful. That retaliation belongs to God. That retaliation belongs to God. That violence is not redemptive. That anger does not produce righteousness. Those teachings are preached clearly and often. But when it comes to Dinah, Christian apologetics quietly suspend them. Suddenly, violence is reframed as protection. Suddenly, vengeance is recast as love. Suddenly, male rage is treated as moral. And Dinah disappears again, this time not just from the story, but from the theology built on it. This story is not used to teach care for women. It is used to reinforce male authority. And the lesson women are left with is not safety, it is silence. Lucretia, history, and a comparison to Dinah. So here's what we need to notice about Dinah before we leave her. A woman is violated, men react, and the story gets told as if it is about justice when it is really about what men do with the violation of a woman. That pattern does not begin in Genesis, and it does not end there. It shows up again in one of the most influential stories in Western history. And her name was Lucretia. Lucretia comes from Roman tradition, preserved most famously by the historian Livy. His full name is Titus Livius, and later retold by the poet Ovid. His full name is Publius Ovidius Naso. I don't know. Whether every detail is historically verifiable is not the point. The story functioned as a foundational myth for Rome. It explained why Romans believed they were and why it explained who Romans believed they were and why their political system changed. Lucretia is portrayed as the ideal Roman woman. Faithful, modest, disciplined, the kind of woman patriarchal cultures praise because her virtue reflects well on the men who own her reputation. She is targeted by Sextus Tarquinius, the son of the Roman king Tarquin the Proud. Sextus enters her home under the protection of hospitality and status, and then he forces her. After the assault, Lucretia does something Dinah never gets to do in the biblical text. She speaks. She summons the men of her household, her husband, Coladinus, and I'm sorry, I have some phonetic things in here, and I think I put too many of them. And her father, Lucretia, she tells them what happened. She demands that the perpetrator be held accountable. And then, operating within a culture where a woman's worth is tied to sexual honor, Lucretia kills herself. Not because she is guilty, but because her society taught her that shame belonged to her body, not to the man who violated it. And the men take her death and turn it into a political weapon. A relative and ally named Lucius Junius Brutus uses Lucretia's violated body and death as the rallying cry to overthrow the monarchy. The Tarquin kings are expelled. Rome becomes a republic. Lucretia's suffering becomes Rome's justification for revolution. Now watch how closely this mirrors Dinah. First, a woman is violated and men turn the violation into a public cause. Dinah's rape becomes the justification for massacre. Lucretia's rape becomes the justification for revolution. Second, the center of the story is a woman's body, but the outcome is a man's agenda. Dinah's story ends in tribal violence and political fallout. Lucretia's story ends in state formation, new power, new legitimacy. Third, justice is narrated as male action, not female restoration. In both stories, the question is not how is the woman healed? The question is, what will men do now? Fourth, honor drives everything. Dinah is treated as defilement that must be answered. Lucretia is treated as dishonor that must be cleansed, even if it costs her life. Fifth, voice changes the details, but not the pattern. Lucretia gets to speak and is still used. Dinah is never allowed to speak and is still used. So when we move from Dinah to Lucretia, we are not changing subjects. We are exposing a reoccurring script. Patriarchal societies do not need women's voices in order to use women's pain. They only need women's bodies to become symbols. Dinah was called judgment because her story became the mechanism for male judgment. Lucretia becomes the foundation myth because her story becomes the excuse for a new nation. Different cultures, same bargain. A violated woman becomes the story men tell to justify what they were already willing to do. Returning to Dinah and taking her back. So we come back to Dinah because this story is always taught as if it is about her, and it never actually is. Christians tell this story as vengeance for Dinah. The text shows vengeance for men. What is stolen is not her safety. What is stolen is not her future. What is stolen is not her sense of self. What is stolen in the logic of the story is male property. And Dinah never escapes that frame. Her voice is never heard. Her strength is never named. Her fear is never acknowledged. Her survival is never centered. Even the violence done in her name has nothing to do with her healing. Can you imagine what it took for her to survive that house? Because the text tells us something devastating if we let it speak plainly. Dinah remains in the house of the man who raped her while men negotiated around her. Jacob hears what happened and remains silent. It is her brothers who speak, plan, and act. And she is not warned. She is not removed. She is left there alone with the man who violated her, while decisions are made that will use her body as justification. Can you imagine what that felt like? The abandonment, the fear, the confusion, the realization that the people who should have protected you decided something else mattered more. And this kind of violation, and this is the kind of violation women are expected to accept. And I need to be clear. I'm not talking about the rape. I'm talking about the erasure. Dinah is violated violently. And instead of being given a story of reclamation, the men take her story from her. They speak over it. They repurpose it. They turn her pain into their plot. Her grief, her fear, her endurance, her survival are never allowed to belong to her. She does not even get to be the subject of her own suffering. That is the violation women are taught to live with. Not only harm, but silence, not only trauma, but disposition of our own stories. Dinah never gets to reclaim her body, never gets to reclaim her name, never gets to reclaim her voice. She is handed over first to her rapist and then to history as a lesson for men. And that should make us sick. Because what her brothers care about is not that their sister was violated, it is that their property was defiled, and Dinah never stops being property in their story. Not to her attacker, not to her brothers, not to the traditions that interpret her. Even God, whether through Jacob's rebuke or through the narrative's moral frame, uses this moment not to restore Dinah, but to correct the men for how they handled their vengeance. The lesson is not, you failed your sister. The lesson is, you made us unsafe. Dinah is not the concern. Fallout is. So what do we do with that? We stop pretending this story is about her, and then we do something harder. We've refused to let that be the end of it. There is a DC Comics superhero named Dinah, the Black Canary. She is powerful. She has a voice that can shatter walls. Her scream is not something men weaponize. It is something that belongs to her. And I don't know if the writers ever thought about the biblical Dinah when they named her, but I know this. The Dinah of Genesis deserved that power. She deserved that voice. She deserved to be more than a prop in a man's story. So this is how I choose. I think I have a mistake in here. Let me see something. Hang on, because I added something. Hang on. I don't want to say that. Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit. Wait. I added something that I'm not seeing it. Hang on 1 second. Because it's important. So let me see if I can find it.
You can do it.
It will make me so mad if I can't, because it's such an important part to the story now. It's something that Thinker told me this week.
Oh.
Okay, hang on. Going a little bit further back. All right, I'm going to go back. Sorry, you guys, because this
You
is
found it?
important. I think I found it.
Oh, good.
I think so.
Okay.
Wait, let me double. Where? How do I see if I can find the name Thinka in here? Because I know I said her name. How do I do a Control F on my iPad? Okay, this is right. This is right. Why can't I just see Thinker's name, though? All right, I'm just going to go from here. I think this is right. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. So we come back to Dinah, because this story is always taught as if it is about her, and it never actually is. Christians tell this story as vengeance for Dinah. The text shows vengeance for men. What is stolen is not her safety. What is stolen is not her future. What is stolen is not her sense of self. What is stolen in the logic of this story is male property. And Dinah never escapes that frame. Her voice is never heard. Her strength is never named. Her fear is never acknowledged. Her survival is never centered. Okay, I will go on GGG today. Even the violence done in her name has nothing to do with her healing, because the text tells us something devastating if we let it speak plainly. Dinah remains in the house of the man who raped her while men negotiated around her. Jacob hears what happened and remains silent. It is her brothers who speak, plan, and act. And she is not warned. She is not removed. She is left there alone with the man who violated her, while decisions are made that will use her body as justification. Can you imagine what that felt like? The abandonment, the fear, the confusion, the realization that the people who should have protected you decided something else mattered more. And this is the kind of violation women are expected to accept. And I need to be clear. I'm not talking about the rape. I'm talking about the erasure. Dinah is violated violently, and instead of being given a story of reclamation, the men take her story from her, they speak over it, they repurpose it, they turn her pain into their plot. Her grief, her fear, her endurance, her survival are never allowed to belong to her. She does not even get to be the subject of her own suffering. That is the violation women are taught to live with. Not only harm, but silence. Not only trauma, but dispossession of our own stories. Dinah never gets to reclaim her body. Dinah never gets to reclaim her name, never gets to reclaim her voice. She is handed over first to her rapist and then to history as a lesson for men. And that should make us sick, because what her brothers care about is not that their sister was violated. It is that their property was defiled, and Dinah never stops being property in this story. not to her attacker, not to her brothers, not to traditions that interpret her. Even God, whether through Jacob's rebuke or through the narrative's moral frame, uses the moment not to restore Dinah, but to correct the men on how they handled their vengeance. The lesson is not you failed your sister. The lesson is you made us unsafe. Dinah is not the concern, fallout is. I was talking recently with Thinker and Mama Bash about this story, and Thinker said something that honestly stopped me in my tracks. This is not the only time text and tradition victimized Dinah. Outside the Bible, in later Jewish tradition, not scripture, not canon, but interpretation, there is a claim that Dinah becomes the unnamed wife of Job. And if that tradition exists, then Dinah's suffering doesn't end in Genesis. It is not resolved. It is multiplied. Because Job's wife is a woman who loses everything. She loses 10 children in a single day. She loses her home. She loses her security. She watches her husband's body break down under divine permission. And she is never given a name. If Dinah is placed into that role, then her story becomes unbearable in a new way. A woman brutalized in Genesis is reimagined as a woman crushed again in Job. And when she finally speaks, when she gives voice to what any human being would be thinking, when she says, "Curse your God and die," tradition does not hear her grief, it condemns her. She becomes a cautionary tale, a warning about faithlessness, an example of what women should not say out loud. So instead of being given justice, Dinah is given theology. Instead of being given healing, she is given endurance. Instead of being allowed anger, she is punished for honesty. If this tradition exists, it does not redeem Dinah's story. It proves the pattern. When her silence in Genesis was not enough, interpreters gave her more suffering. When her body was not enough, they took her voice. And when she finally spoke, they turned her into a lesson about gratitude in the face of abuse. So what do we do with that? We stop pretending this story is about her, and then we do something harder. We refuse to let that be the end of it. There is a superhero named Dinah, the Black Canary. She is powerful. She has a voice that can shatter walls. Her scream is not something men weaponize. It is something that belongs to her. And I don't know if the writers ever thought about the biblical Dinah when they named her, but I know this, the Dinah of Genesis deserved that power. She deserved that voice. She deserved to be more than a prop in a man's story. So this is how we choose to remember her. We will remember Dinah not as the silence in the story, but as the power they were afraid to let speak. And when we say her name, we will not think what was taken from her. We will think of the voice she always deserved. A voice strong enough to break walls, a voice that could not be ignored, a voice like a canary's cry, clear, fierce, and free. If they never let Dinah be the hero of her own story, then we will remember her that way now. Loud, unapologetic, and finally heard. And that's today's anti-sermon. Welcome in, Rav.
That was awesome. Awesome.
And I don't know if you were here at first, Rab, but I know that in Hebrew it's pronounced Dinah. I said Dinah because I was tying in the DC character and they pronounce her name Dinah. Thank you all. Thank you all. And yet, I don't know, what time do you guys go live today, GGG? I will join you.
I like the imagery of the comic book Dinah and her shaking walls with her voice, and that's what we need to do. That's where we should be focusing. We should be shaking the walls with our voices.
And we have to start giving these women their voices because obviously the men are never going to give them their voices. We record not live for the 3 p.m. Work for you? Oh, yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific time? Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Is this just live or a podcast? What are we doing? Are we doing just live today? You guys, I'm going to play my song one more time because I really, really like it. But if you're a believer and you'd like to come up and talk, you can pick a topic today. I put up Christians don't believe in miracles because I don't really think they do. They say they do, but I don't really think they do because every time we talk to them about it, it's like God doesn't work that way. So I don't think they do. Also, why should women be Christian? I personally think they should not. My email is mylaptop@gmail.com. I know. I'm not afraid to give it out because I get so much shit emailed to it anyway. I just look for the things I'm looking for when I'm so that's my actual email. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying, but I'm going to go ahead and play my new song because I'm so proud of it, you guys. Here is my latest song. Yep, that's really my email. Block Me.
Block, blockity, block, 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 bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah. If this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit the block. You know you should. Did I make you mad? Did I piss you off? Don't like the way I mock and scoff. You MAGA, pro-ICE, anti-LGBT, Nazi adjacent, transphobe energy, misogyny baked in your theology, supremacy culture wrapped up as morality. If that's you, don't wait, don't debate. Hit that block now, bitch, don't hesitate. Don't stall, don't fake, I didn't come to play. Ain't got time to fuck with you today. Listen, motherfucker, if you won't engage, if you won't look twice at the words I say, then hit that block, do it clean, do it quick, no comments, no sermons, no last minute tricks. You think I need your God to be whole and pure? I'm atheist, feminist, solid and sure. I ain't into the grift, it's all a facade, it's a patriarchal system, so does God. Block me, bitch, don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now, ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick around. Block me now. Block me now. Yeah, pro-ICE, pro-Trump, red head on display. Same playbook as the KKK. You cheer for K, this call it law. Where the fuck is the line drawn? If you rather fund wars than feed the kids, if you voted for a 34-time convicted felon, if you couldn't vote for a woman to save your life, hit block now, bitch. Exit right. Oh fuck, I said a naughty word. I see you strangling on your pearls. This song's vulgar, yeah, so is hate, so is power hoarder behind church and state. Supremacy ain't culture, it's rot. Silence ain't peace, it's God. You capitalism feeds bombs, not bread, and you call that values? Nah, block me instead. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now. Ain't no sweat off my brow. With that block, don't stick. Block me now. Block me now. You gon' better ahead and block me now. I'm not shrinking. I'm loud as fuck. I'm still here, bitch. So now what? This ain't politics, this is belief. If my morals hit nerves, find your relief. No essays, no prize, no back and forth. Hit block. Hope your access to door. I'm bound. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate. I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my fucking brow.
I don't know. I love it.
I love it.
I'm really excited. I don't know. It was such a good idea when Mom and Dad said it, and then I was like, okay. And it took me a while to write because I couldn't get, like, there was so many reasons I want them to block me. The list was maybe too long at first.
The song could have gone on for another 5 minutes, right?
It really could have. There's so many more reasons that I could list for them to block me.
Right.
But But yeah, I'm an atheist. If you want to do a question for question, that's another thing. I saw that we have a Christian in the comments who said he doesn't have enough faith to be an atheist. I find that really weird when people say that, because when I was a Christian, my faith was sacred to me, and there's no way I would compare my faith with an atheist lack of belief. That would be sacrilegious to me to do that. Yeah, questions for questions, but we'll do Q for Q. We'll do question for question. Okay? All questions can come up and ask questions, but I get to ask a question back.
Hi, Crystal.
Hey, Rab, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Doing well. How did you like my Dinah sermon?
I wish I would have heard the rest of it. I heard the very final piece of it, but I really appreciated what I did hear. I think, the issue that I've always had is that everybody's speaking for her. And there's in the Jewish feminist movement, the understanding is that it wasn't actually RAPE, but that there was, like, she went out to visit the daughters of the land. Did I ever send you my midrash? I wrote like a short story on the Dina episode,
Oh
and
no.
I'll send it to you on Discord. In fact, I'll do
Maybe,
it.
I don't know if you did. I don't remember reading it if you did. So send it to me again just in
Sure.
case.
So I make the case that there is, like, that she is taking agency by going out and to visit the daughters of the land, which I think is like a sort of going to be cosmopolitan. That's kind of like the way I understand that. And then by doing that, she sort of has exposed herself to a different way that's not, as repressed as sort of this agrarian lifestyle, sort of the city life. She's seeing city life, and she meets a guy, and she likes him, and she understands that there's an inherent tension between her own wants and her sort of upbringing of her family's obligations or expectations of her, and then once things move along for her, everybody starts speaking for her, and it's like her brothers sort of get the final word, and to me the text actually makes them look like horses' asses. Like like the father is Jacob is sort of trying to be I don't know, politically savvy or something like that, and that might even be giving him too much credit. But the brothers are zealots and deceivers, and they come off very negatively in the text, as far as I'm concerned. And should we have everyone call our sister a whore? Like, that makes them look like absolute asses to me. Like, if I were
Yeah.
to, if I'm reading the text, and maybe I'm reading my own sort of anachronistic lens on it, but I actually think that it's critical of the brothers here.
And I like it that I feel now more as I'm going along, I feel more like that's exactly a really good title for me. I am now a Bible critic. That's what I'm doing. I'm critiquing this text and I see it different than other people, and that's okay. Everything I see is still in the text or in teachings about the text. Like I don't think that I do anything different than any preacher does or any rabbi does,
No, for
and
sure.
so
I
yeah.
think,
Hey,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Well, just I think I've said it before, but there's a nice adage that says the Torah was written in black fire and in white fire. The black fire is the text on the page, and the white fire is the space between. And if we consider that space to be also intentional, then we have opportunity to discuss and to question and to be critical, just as you're doing. So I think that it's not in stone; it's written on vellum.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Katie, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Pretty good. Just got done with the workout and lunch and so I'm here. But like your comment on like the person that said they don't have faith to be an atheist, I found that interesting because I think it takes a lot, not faith, but it takes a lot more mental fortitude and self-reflection to be an atheist than it does to be a believer.
Now that I would agree with, but it's not faith. And as a Christian, I would have never called it faith because I thought faith was special. That's what made me special, right? That's why I'm a Christian, because I have faith. You're not, because you don't. That's what made us different. And for people to go and project that onto atheists is always wild to me. I would have never done that as a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have either, right? Because it's not faith that makes me an atheist, right?
No. And I wouldn't want them to have that. That was special to me, right? That was like, what do you know? They don't have that. That's what makes me special. I have something they don't have, right? Can you guys do me a favor and talk amongst yourself for a minute or do a commercial or something? I'll be right back.
Oh, everybody should be tapping and meeting that gift goal and sharing the live out and, doing the things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, I was just pondering, throwing it out there. I do that a lot.
Like wondering.
Mm-hmm.
And wondering is like pondering.
That is, I like that. I actually do like that. Questions for questions.
Questions for questions.
That's
Come
right.
on up and get your questions answered.
Ooh.
Answered. I guess you have to do answered.
Oh, I don't know. Like Fred, that would depend on what system. Like, so in the U.S., we have freedom of religion that was said, yeah, they could wear a cross or a hijab. But if we were in like France and they were like at a public school, the doctrine of laïcité would come into play, which is like no religion in any public space that's run by the government. So federal or government employees aren't allowed to have their religious symbology on display for someone else to see, which I actually like.
I need to move to France. Vive la France, right? Like, maybe that's where I need to go.
Quebec also follows that too. I don't know about the rest of Canada, but I know that Quebec does.
It's really hard not to make a deport me daddy sign and go to a protest.
Oh my God.
Deport me back to Europe. Hurry up.
But daddy, I love the other country.
Deport me, daddy.
I know. I'm about to go travel Europe in May, and really trying to figure if I'm going to make it back.
Oh, it's going to be so pretty.
Oh yeah.
You're going to love it. It's going to be so beautiful.
Oh, I know. I haven't been since right before COVID, so I'm well overdue.
Oh, we've got somebody in the box. Hi, Fred. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
26.
Okay, and are you a believer?
Not really. This is a question regarding, because there's a clear disagreement between Rav and Holy Ghost over whether it should be legal, because Holy Ghost said that she prefers the French model, in which it's illegal for students even to wear religious clothing in schools. And I wanted to know Rav's opinion on that. Should teachers be allowed to wear hijabs, turbans, yarmulkes? And I think what you mean is
turban
ideal.
isn't always religious.
No, but it's banned in Quebec as a religious.
Talking about as a Sikh.
Turbans are?
Yes, a Sikh
as
man
a
cannot.
Sikhist. Okay.
A Sikh man
Okay,
cannot.
that
You
makes
can wear a turban if you're not a Sikh, but if you are a Sikh, you can't. And be employed by the government. And I'm asking.
The first prompt says Christians don't believe in miracles. Bach.
Yeah, I'd say that's up to probably. I mean, as for the first question, I think religions are defined by their followers. But if your main question is like, they say they believe in miracles, and they probably believe in miracles, right? But as for the
It's
question I
not
was
a
asking,
question. It's a statement. I don't think they do. That's why it's not a question.
I mean, I'm not going to say
I
that they're
talked to many of
liars,
them,
right?
and they say they do. I am. I'm flat out saying they're lying. And that's why the prompt's up there so they can come up and defend
I don't
that.
know. I mean, I think that, some do, some don't. I mean, if they believe, like, I don't know,
They don't
someone
really
rose from the
though.
dead,
Once
they
I
probably
put
do.
their feet to the
Yeah,
fire,
well,
they don't
like
actually
I would,
believe
I
in
would like to
miracles.
just give a little pushback on the student thing, right? Like, it is not a blanket ban. It is conspicuous religious apparel, right? So yeah, that does ban like turbans and headscarves and large crosses and things like that. But they're allowed to wear smaller, or concealed things of their faith. So it's not that they can't wear it. It's just that it can't be overtly conspicuous.
Well, in France, they're not even allowed to wear ankle-length dresses because they're too obviously Arabian.
Oh, I
Because
know.
the main
Sorry,
part,
I buy
I'm
it.
trying to
and I'm not
understand here.
sure. Do you
Who's
support
measuring the
those?
size of somebody's kippah?
Sorry, no, they would say no
Who is?
kippas at all.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but Holy Ghost said that it's okay if it's not conspicuous. So like that it's not visible or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess who's like measuring the size of somebody's cross, and how do you determine what the right size of somebody's, Magen David or yarmulke is?
Well,
That's going to be up.
they'd probably have to cover it. You'd have to wear a hat on it. Though this is quite controversial because there's other laws which basically say that all school lunches must have pork. That's another sort of controversial law you find in some French localities.
Really?
Yes, it's similar sort of
What's the
mindset.
reason for that?
Yeah, do you know?
Assimilate the Muslims and Jews mostly.
Well,
By
that's
the way,
weird.
That's
just so
a
everybody's aware, France has the third largest Jewish population. So Israel has half of the world's Jews, America has half of the world's Jews, and the next largest Jewish population center is in France with 200,000 people, Jewish people.
Yes, hence why these laws are so controversial there. It's considered, especially
what
the land
do,
of
what
the
do they
Dreyfus
do if
affair,
the person has a problem with their cholesterols and stuff?
Okay, like
then they
look,
can't eat
like
the
in
school
France,
lunches.
they do not. There's no law that says they have to, but they don't
No,
also
it's
have
not a
to.
national law. I said localities. It's found
Right.
in localities, so various municipal. It's a municipal issue, right? Because school lunches are not determined nationally; they're determined on the municipal level.
By the way, this was
And these
done
are
at part of the Spanish Inquisition as well, imposing pork usage
Right.
as
Right.
You're right.
cultural
I mean,
food.
like
but this
it
is still
is.
part of the This is still part of a recent set of laws meant to essentially curb public religious observance of Islam. And Holy Ghost is seemingly in support of
I
those.
don't
I
like.
am
I don't
completely in
like
support of
forcing
it.
people to do things like. Yeah,
I
I just am not into that.
well
I just
because
want to
I'm
unequivocally state where I'm at with this. I think that wearing religious things is perfectly acceptable. What's not acceptable is forcing people within your religion to wear certain things against their will. In other words, if a Muslim woman does not want to wear a burqa, she should not have to wear a burqa. She should not be
and,
in fear of
and
whether or not she's going to live through the day because she shows her hair.
right.
That's what I have a problem with.
And I will come down very radical on this. I am very much in favor of eradicating all faiths from public life whatsoever because they have done nothing but bring harm to this world.
What methods, though, how do you exterminate the Muslim from France without violating his rights, right?
I'm saying the religion. I didn't say the person. I said the faith, the belief.
So how do you
All
exterminate
From
Islam from
public.
France without violating their rights?
la sate.
Again, Katie's not saying that. So if I want to be Islam and live in France,
Muslim.
Katie's okay with that. Or Muslim, whatever. If I want to be Muslim and live in France, Katie's okay with that. But should I be a teacher bringing my beliefs into the classroom? I think no. I should not.
Well, I don't think wearing a piece of cloth over your head is necessarily bringing in
I do.
their religion to
I
the
do.
classroom.
I do because I'm a woman, and it's telling all the little girls that you should be modest like this. And I think that is something men put on women, and it's part of the patriarchy. And I don't think that's something little girls should have to deal with in school.
I mean, I
But
guess
Muslims exist. Muslims exist in the world.
Right. But you know
Again, I
what? You know what
heard
else
that.
exists in
I
this
don't think
world?
it needs to be in the public schools.
You know what else exists in this
You
world
refuse.
that isn't a choice?
Well, I would say religion is not actually a choice because I don't believe in free will. But sure.
Religion is absolutely a choice. I could choose to be a Muslim today, or a Jew tomorrow, or a Hindu on the next day.
well,
Right?
you,
No,
See, I
let
don't.
me
No,
finish.
no.
I don't.
Yes, you can. You
Sorry.
can convert to Judaism. Yes, you can
Well,
convert to Judaism.
You can convert to Judaism. I don't think you can choose whether you actually believe those things or not. I think nobody chooses what they believe. Now, I could choose to be one. Doesn't mean I actually believe it.
right, and also
Well,
the
sure.
Jewish people determine who are Jewish and who's not Jewish. So just saying you could convert to Judaism tomorrow is a false statement.
I
So
think
you
people
don't
don't
think that
actually choose.
I was going down that route with my ex-wife at one time, who is a Jew?
I don't know. I'm just saying that you can't convert tomorrow. Like you'd have to assemble a Beit Din. There would be certain steps
Oh yeah,
ahead
I'm
of
not
that.
saying like it's an instantaneous thing. I'm saying I could choose to become part of that faith.
No, but my point is that most people can't actually choose what they believe. And in
Really?
most people's case,
How
religion is
so?
not
Yeah,
chosen.
I don't
I
think
disagree
people
with
can
that
choose what they
statement
believe either.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I disagree with that
Okay.
too.
Otherwise, I couldn't
How
be
do
an
you
atheist.
choose what you believe? How do
But
you
that's
choose what you actually
but
believe?
that's actually sidetracking from my final part of that statement, right?
Well, no, because my fundamental belief is that since religion can't be chosen, it ought to be
But it can be
included in like
chosen. It's
anti-discrimination laws,
it can
and
be
that's why I
chosen.
don't.
It can be chosen. You know, it can't be
Can
chosen. Being gay, being trans, being a certain skin color, having a certain eye color. All of
I
those
agree
things
with all that.
cannot
Yeah,
be chosen.
I agree with that.
well,
I
those are
don't think
genetic,
that
but there are
beliefs
still things you can't like you can't choose who you fall in love with, for example. Um, I don't think that's
beliefs are very complex sorts of things that involve a whole lot of sensory inputs and experiential inputs. Beliefs can change, but to choose a
right.
belief, I think, is exceedingly difficult.
Right. I think there needs to be a difference between something that can change and something that can be chosen. There's a difference. Like you can fall out of
So,
love, for
so
example.
wait. But see, this doesn't follow logic, right? Because if you weren't brought up in Islam, so all the people that go to Islam or the Muslim faith later in life because someone talked to them about it and it
They become
resonated with them,
convinced. Yeah, they
you
become
become
convinced by
convinced. But
some.
if you
Yeah,
Yeah, they
are
didn't will
born
themselves to believe
into
it.
Hey,
a
hey,
faith,
hey, please stop doing that. Just a minute, please. There are people who have closed caption for the hearing impaired on, and when you all talk over each other, they cannot follow the conversation. Katie was speaking. We don't speak over women on this panel ever, okay? Katie, go ahead.
so when you are born into a faith, like I was born into Catholicism, in that I did not have a choice in what I was indoctrinated with. I did, though, have a chance to reflect and use critical thought as I grew up and realized how there is no God, how that is made up, and how I then could choose to step away from that because it was causing me harm, right? Like, I can't believe in a God that condemned me to hell just because I am who I am and had no control over that. But I can have control over what I believe in. That is the choice.
Katie, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I was born into that same religion. I'm working on having them void my name out of the baptismal book. But I'm wondering if you were taught the same way I was back in the day. Way back, I'm 60 years old, so it's way back in the day.
I'm
To
52.
oh, you're
So
52. Oh, you just sound young. Maybe
thank
okay.
you.
Anyways,
I know. I always
anywho.
thought you were so much younger, Katie.
No.
Anyway,
But you always sound wiser. Trust me.
right.
I always have actually. Like I will I'll tell you a quick story for first communion. What are we, like 7 or 8? I remember, and I think I tell this story often. Standing outside in my little communion robe, talking to my father and being like, we just made all this shit up, didn't we? Because we didn't know what stars were. And he patted me on the head and said, probably, now get in there.
Oh my goodness, Dad.
Yep.
But how does that mean that, if you don't mind me saying,
But the question I had was, were you taught as well to suspend disbelief when you're reading literature like Bibles and other fairy tales and stuff?
I was
I was taught to choose to suspend the disbelief while I'm reading it, and then to resume the disbelief once I'm done reading it.
no. I was really taught more to the Bible is not literal. Like the loaves and fishes story. He didn't feed X amount of thousand people. He just fed a whole bunch of people, right? Like to look at the heart of the story more than the literal of the story, I guess, is how I was taught.
What about
Um,
in public school? Did you ever run into that in public school?
I was educated in Catholic schools.
Oh, okay. All right. No, that makes sense to me now. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
There's a
I was pursuing being a deacon.
Hey, Thrail.
If I could ask my question, though, I don't know why that indicates that you can choose what you can or what you do and don't believe, right? As you said, you were indoctrinated into a particular religion. Now, that's partially why I do believe religion should be covered under anti-discrimination laws. I don't think you should be allowed to deny someone rent because of their membership in some unpopular religious group, right? I do think that Muslims should have the same rights as anyone else. And I generally think that,
Okay, I would. Sorry, Fred. Finish.
yeah, and that's part of the basis for a lot of, let's say, anti-discrimination laws, including anti-discrimination laws concerning religion, is that it is not something that you can necessarily choose. Now, it can change, but the idea that you can will yourself to believe something to be true or something to be untrue, I don't really see as accurate. But I'm also probably not as tied to the idea of free will as you are. You seem to be quite
Oh no, I don't believe in free will at all.
right. So you can't choose. So how can you say that you can
Oh,
choose what
but
to
you
believe?
can, right? I don't believe in free will in the concept of that we live in a causal world. So something I do has ramifications to somebody else. That doesn't mean that they can't have a choice between option A and option B. Because if that's the case, then I would never have been an atheist, right? I would have
Well,
stuck where I was.
I don't
Because then
know
I wouldn't have
necessarily
had.
if we actually have a choice. I think it appears that we have choices, but when it comes to determinism, maybe we do, maybe we don't. But I would still say that largely beliefs,
I don't believe in a
for most
deterministic
people at the very
system.
least,
Do you understand a causal system? That doesn't mean there's a determined outcome that you're stuck to. It does leave room
no,
for
I understand what
choice.
your position is. I'm saying I disagree with it, which is all right. And I don't think that necessarily means that we have to come to the same conclusions on like civil rights or come to different conclusions on civil rights. I think we can come to a
So
similar conclusion on those things.
I guess
Now,
continue.
Now, as for the issue of, Muslims, Jews, Christians being allowed in public life, or Sikhs being allowed in public life, right? And the explicit nature of these laws in France were absolutely to make Muslims less present in public life. That was the obvious intention, and you can't really deny given on when these laws were passed. I'm not saying you have racial motivations. I'm saying in France they had obvious racial motivations, especially the pork stuff. That is pretty clearly racially motivated. Right. Now, I personally don't see the harm in allowing a Jewish teacher to wear their kippah or allowing a Sikh police officer to wear his turban, right? And the people who have the biggest problem with it in Quebec are the same people who just have a problem with Sikhs being present in Montreal, right? These are the people who call themselves dot bashers because they go around beating up any Sikh or Muslim they saw on the ground, right? These are the people who shoot up mosques, for goodness sake.
Do you know when
But can
when
I say
laissez-faire
something here,
passed?
please?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me say something here real quick. The problem I have with this is so many times I hear people say, "Well, I see no problem with this," but it's not. You're not the one who gets affected by these things. Again, every time we have these kind of religious symbols in the classroom and so forth, it is marginalized people who end up hurt by these things. And I don't see why, if it's in public school, it is necessary for them to wear and have their religious things. If their religion is so strict that they have to wear and show their religion on the outside so much, then I do not think they should be teachers, because teachers can indoctrinate our children. And I don't want it.
But what
I
marginalized
don't
person is being
want
harmed by my
indoctrination.
what marginalized person is being harmed by my science teacher wearing a kippah?
Let me
Me?
tell you what marginalized person is being harmed. Okay, first of all, when you wear things like that, you are starting a place where children are going to ask questions, and you're going to answer them, and they are going to be religious answers, whether you want them to be or not. This week, my friend told me that her son was at school and heard the janitor talking to a teenage girl and telling her to watch her virtue and be, good and da 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 da. I don't want that shit. I don't want it in my schools. But also, you guys, I don't want to continue this conversation because it is none of my topics today, and I really want to get back to my topics.
I mean,
because
I
that's
think
what
that
my show's about.
all the teachers are showing is that Jews and Sikhs and Muslims exist. If that's such a problem for you, that your children know that there are these people from, I don't know,
That's not
various
what
religions.
happens, though. That's not
Well, I
what
think
happens, though.
and
Jews
Not in
don't
the
convert, though.
classroom.
The idea
It's
that
just
Jewish
really
teachers
not.
are preaching
And I
at
feel
their
like you're
students.
not respecting the fact that I said I don't want to keep talking about this. And then that shows me that you don't respect my boundaries. And that's the whole problem I have with it, is that people don't respect boundaries. That is the very problem I have with it.
I think it'll just push them into their own private schools, really.
And they can have private schools.
Right, exactly.
I don't see why, if it's a public school, why it needs to be brought into it.
Yeah, it'll become more esoteric. Like I keep hearing that word, esoteric. I was like, well, that means to keep it
And then
secret. So go keep
where
it
does it
secret
stop?
better. I know.
Miss Mary wears a cross on her on her neck, and then the next thing you know, she decides to bring her Bible to school and set it on her desk, and then the next thing you know, they're hanging the 10 commandments in every fucking school in Texas, and they're not even the actual 10 commandments. They're the ones that the Christians call the 10 commandments, but not the ones the Bible calls the 10 commandments, because Christians don't read their Bible. I don't want it in my fucking schools.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
He's a nice lady.
I think there's a big difference between what you were saying that janitor was doing and promoting a particular faith, or even promoting faith at all, versus looking at religions or peoples as an ethnographer. And I think that's an important skill to develop, to look at people groups and understand from an anthropological and ethnographic standpoint how peoples view themselves and how they talk about themselves, not from I'm going to involve myself or be converted into that, but from when we remove some of that esotericism and look at people for people become less scary. And when people are driven into silence and driven into secrecy, that's when scapegoating happens. And that is the story, that is the Jewish story over time and space, is that Jews are driven into hiding. You look at the Spanish Inquisition, you look at the Roman occupation, you look at the 1930s in Germany. All of that is that Jews should be not seen or heard from, and this drives fear up. It drives the exchange of information down. It creates us and them mentalities. It becomes very dangerous for the most vulnerable people in society. I fully understand not wanting to hear from people's religious standpoints in the public sphere. I am so for
Do
that.
you really believe that you think a woman who comes in a full burqa and teaches a class won't ever have to explain herself or tell something to a child or not say anything?
Well,
Do you really think that that would happen? Because I don't.
I agree
I
with
don't
you.
believe for one
First of
minute it
all,
will.
I agree with you. I guess what I'm saying is, like, what is the interview? This is okay. There's a wonderful book that came out a few years ago called Unveiled: How Western Liberals Empower Radical Islam. And this is exactly the same point that you're making, is that it is impossible for somebody who is wearing a full burqa to not impose that onto other people. It is an imposition. It is a sight imposition just immediately. I fully understand what you're saying. And so the question is, do we push away and be fearful of that, or do we try and
I'm not.
understand? Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm
I'm
not
a.
saying. I'm not
I
saying
mean,
you're.
I'm not
Sorry.
afraid like I'm going to become a Muslim. I'm afraid that they're going to impose their religious belief on children who are at their earliest stages of development, and they have been doing it, and I'm fucking sick of it. Like the Gideon Bible, they stand outside the fucking middle school and pass them out.
I'm with you. I'm 110% with you. I
So
guess what I'm saying is we should be learners so that we can stand up against things that are clearly an imposition in society. In other
And
words,
I'd have no problem if they taught all the different religions in school. But the problem is that they'd get in big, huge battles over that. And then we'd have fucking people being like, you're not teaching Buddhism right or whatever. And then we have that issue where when there are countries that don't allow this in the public schools. And then I kind of want to get off of this because I really fucking want to get off of this. Okay.
right,
I do. It's not my
Yeah,
topics. I
I
don't. This
know.
is not what I talk about.
yeah.
It is not something I feel comfortable talking about. And I have very. I know that I'm an opinionated bitch, and my opinions aren't. No, I'm not bringing you back up, sir. I know I'm an opinionated bitch, okay, and I know that my opinions are not always well founded. That's why I don't share all my opinions because maybe I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like maybe some of them just keep to yourself, right? But I just don't want us indoctrinating children. And I find that when you give a religious person an inch, they take a mile with these children.
I'm
Do
with
you
you.
And so
think
I don't
it?
know
Do you
exactly
think
what
it?
the answer is,
Do you think it
but I
might
don't want
boil
them in
down
school.
to? I've got this idea in my head that the original sin.
You know what? Hang on one second. Fuck you, Fred. Fuck you. I would never fucking call ice, you fucking piece of shit. Get the fuck out of my life, you piece of shit.
Wow,
If you
Fred.
fucking think that that's who I am, block me, bitch. You must not have heard my song this morning.
No,
I would not
Absolutely.
fucking call ice on anybody. Fuck you.
that's ridiculous.
Right. So
Oh,
Just because I don't want
yeah.
people teaching it in my fucking school, you suddenly think that I'm against people of a different culture than me? I just got in trouble. I
Oh
just got in
no,
trouble for cussing him out.
oh,
you're gonna
but it's
be.
worth it sometimes.
Yeah,
Crystal, it's worth
sometimes
it.
it is.
I just want to say one more closing thing for me and on this topic, and then I'm like, Crystal, we can move on.
Yeah.
The problem is, I come from two marginalized communities. I am queer and I am indigenous. And if you don't think that I haven't suffered at the hands of religion for who I fundamentally am genetically, you're wrong. And this is why I don't want it in the public sphere. If you want to do it in your home, if you want to do it when you're wearing to the park, if you want to do it anywhere else, fine. That's your religion. And that's where we can have what you wanted, Rav. We can have those discussions and people are segregated off. But for me, when I see someone wearing a cross, I have a reflex
Me too.
that I don't want to talk to that person because I don't know what they're going to do to me.
Mm-hmm.
I really started thinking we got new neighbors, and I was like, fuck. They're probably Christians.
That is my point. I'm not saying don't be your religion and don't show your religion in your daily life other than when you're in a public funded
I
space.
do not have a reflex
Well,
when I
my
see
point goes
people.
to
Oh
her
my God.
point. Yeah, it goes to
People are still trying to
what is her
say
name?
that I'm xenophobic in
You're
in
not.
the chat.
She's not.
They
Yeah.
fucking have no idea.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyway, let's move on.
but it goes to your point. This thing I've got in my head that the original sin was a trinity of commandment breakings within the 10 commandments. You were told in the Old Testament, you don't covet, you don't steal, and you don't worship other people's gods. Well, those are Jewish gods. It's all misappropriation, and we keep doing it. And I think that that's where that greedy fat taking shit comes into play. and I think that that should be framed as the original sin. What
I want to. I'm sorry. I want to rethink about something that I had said earlier, and I think that, and it kind of solves all the issues and sort of aligns myself again. I think you're right in the sense that if you bring a religious garb into a school as a teacher, I don't think we should restrict students from wearing things because they are
I
there as
don't
a.
either on that. That's
Um,
different,
I think
by
you're.
the way. I think
Yes,
that's
yeah.
different.
Okay, so that's one thing. Two, because I think schools are supposed to be a microcosm of society. But teachers should be like judges. We should not, they should be like, when I say judges, I mean like they should be poor people. In other words, they should be, when I say poor people, I mean like they should be, look, the only way to have perfect justice, the example I give is that when you're cutting a cake, the person who is cutting the cake should take their piece last to ensure that the cake is most evenly cut. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so,
Yep, I do understand what you're saying.
and so the the notion that somebody cutting the cake, aka the teacher, somebody who is distributing the information, aka the cake, um, would put themselves or insert themselves into the cutting of the cake would be anathema to the goal of the distribution of the cake in the first place, otherwise the information. And so I think that one, it has to, like, separation of church, like Congress shall make no law infringing on the or the, making,
Right.
infringing on, right, like infringing on separation of church and state. So like I think that public institutions presenting any religious thing is problematic. I think you're right. Um, and I am curious. I don't know that people should be wearing religious garb as teachers, and they shouldn't be talking about their religious stance as teachers. But it is another.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think.
that's
Students are
what
different.
nurses are
But hang on one
required to
second.
do.
Atlantic,
Oh,
Atlantic,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Can I
All I
get your
did was
age?
26.
Is this Fred?
Yeah. I said.
Are you the
don't
same
forget hate
guy
crime.
who was here a minute
Yeah,
ago?
don't shoot up my mosque.
So can
Don't
I
shoot
tell
up
you
mosques.
something? Do you have a
Please don't shoot
fucking
up a mosque.
problem with boundaries,
Please
you
don't shoot
fucking
up a
piece of
mosque.
shit? Do you
Please
have a
don't.
fucking problem with boundaries, you little fucking
Please
piece
don't
of
shoot up a
shit?
mosque, man.
This
All right,
is
hey,
what
Please
the
don't shoot up a
problem
mosque.
people have, is that you cannot
Please,
understand boundaries. I don't want
please
you
don't shoot up a
here.
mosque.
I fucking blocked you for a
Please don't shoot up a
reason.
mosque, ma'am.
And then
Please do not shoot up a mosque.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking
then
piece of shit.
then don't throw people like me off buildings.
Did you hear him? Like, let me tell you something right now. I have no problem with people who are of different nationality than me, different culture than me. I have a problem with the Abrahamic religions. I would not do anything violent. I am anti-violence. If you spent 5 fucking seconds in my life, you would know that. But you want to come up here because I said I don't think a teacher should wear religious garb into the public classroom and then claim that that makes me Islamophobic is insane. I blocked him. That's why it took so long for him to drop, because I didn't drop him first. It takes a minute for the block to happen. That is a man who cannot have boundaries. Do you see that? And then he is telling me I should allow people like that to teach children. But I just told you my fear is that people like you won't have boundaries, and you just showed me 2 fucking times that you don't respect boundaries. Are you people okay? And that also shows you don't have to be a religious person to be a fucking asshole. Non-religious people are fucking assholes too.
Yes, they are.
Do I just bring
I'm
this
sorry.
wherever I go? Is this my fault? Am I the problem?
It's me, Raph. It's me, I promise you. It's me. You guys, can I switch it up real quick and play my song
Absolutely.
again? Because
Please
like
do.
now I'm irritated.
Yes, and
And
women
I
should
want to
not
get
be
back.
Christian. Just FYI.
Hey,
Thank you.
hey, Crystal. Well, I
Hey,
think,
Greta, how are you?
I really think that women should be Christians, and I want to hear your opinion.
Okay, well, let's hear this song first, you guys. I'm going to play my new song, Block Me.
Block, blockity, block, 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 bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah. If this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit the block. You know you should. Did I make you mad? Did I piss you off? Don't like the way I mock and scoff. You MAGA, pro-ICE, anti-LGBT, Nazi adjacent, transphobe energy, misogyny baked in your theology, supremacy culture wrapped up as morality. If that's you, don't wait, don't debate. Hit that block now, bitch, don't hesitate. Don't stall, don't fake, I didn't come to play. Ain't got time to fuck with you today. Listen, motherfucker, if you won't engage, if you won't look twice at the words I say, then hit that block, do it clean, do it quick, no comments, no sermons, no last minute tricks. You think I need your God to be whole and pure? I'm atheist, feminist, solid and sure. I ain't into the grift, it's all a facade, it's a patriarchal system, so does God. Block me, bitch, don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now, ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick around. Block me now. Block me now. Yeah, pro-ICE, pro-Trump, red hat on display. Same playbook as the KKK. You cheer for K, just call it law. Where the fuck is the line drawn? If you rather fund wars than feed the kids. If you voted for a 34-time convicted felon. If you couldn't vote for a woman to save your life. Hit block now, bitch. Exit right. Oh, fuck. I said a naughty word. I see you strangling on your pearls. This song's vulgar. Yeah, so is hate. So is power hoarder behind church and state. Supremacy ain't culture. It's rot. Silence ain't peace. It's blood. You capitalism feeds bombs, not bread. And you call that values? Nah, block me instead. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now. Ain't no sweat off my brow. If that block don't stick, block me now. Block me now. You gon' better ahead and block me now. I'm not shrinking, I'm loud as fuck. I'm still here, bitch, so now what? This ain't politics, this is belief. If my morals hit nerves, find your relief. No essays, no cries, no back and forth. Hit block, hope your access to door. I'm block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my fucking brow.
That's my newest song. I am doing another album. I don't know what it's about, but that's the first song.
Love it. So I just came up to get you back on topic, really, to be honest. And
Thank you.
but I do want to say, go to Spotify, listen to Crystal, listen to Thinker, and be sure to listen to Joel because he's not getting a lot of hits, and he's going to stop writing songs. I think he said jokingly, but I took him serious. So so please listen to everybody.
I need to talk to Joel because Mama Bash wants to have him on her show too, and that will get him more plays too.
Good.
So
But
I got to talk to him.
I think he was joking, but you know him, you can never tell. So
Yeah, it's true.
but I love you all.
Very true.
Talk to you later.
Thank you for coming up, Grant, and thanks for bringing us back because now I could talk to maybe Rab about the Bible. And we can talk about how about Numbers 30. This is why women shouldn't be Christians, by the way, and it is in the Old Testament, but I have real problems with Numbers 30. We're going to start in verse 1. Then Moses said to the heads of the tribes of the Israelites, this is what the Lord has commanded. So this is a commandment, okay? For all of you thinking this is just a suggestion, okay? When a man makes a vow to the Lord or swears an oath to bind himself by a pledge, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. When a woman makes a vow to the Lord or binds herself by a pledge while within her father's house in her youth, and her father hears of her vow or her pledge by which she has bound herself and says nothing to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father expresses disapproval to her at the time that he hears of it, no vow of hers and no pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand, and the Lord will forgive her because her father had expressed to her his disapproval. So the fact that my words are not even my own makes me not think that this God is worthy of my, to me, more and more and more every sermon I write, every song I write, I realize like God hates women. He just hates us. The fact that a father or a husband of mine can just nullify my vow to even the God, that means my voice, my words don't matter to this God. And many men and many fathers will nullify because they won't like what a woman says.
Also, vows are extremely dangerous just in general. Just like from the biblical worldview, vows, like you should not make vows. Like, do not make vows. That's like the big message. Don't make vows.
But definitely, like, women don't make vows because I don't give a fuck what you have to say anyway. I'm going to just talk to your daddy or your husband anyway and see what they say.
Can I offer like the sort of ripped open
The
problematic view?
apologetics?
No, not the apologetic, but the worldview of this is it's what I'm saying is it's always more problematic than what's just simply on the page. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so the at least from our own standpoint, right? Okay, so the notion, as we have already established, is that women are ostensibly the property of the man. So before she's married, she's the property of her father. When she's married, she's the property of her husband. By the way, husband and husbandry are from the same etymological root, which is the care of animals. So everybody's aware how that works. Okay, so the vow is an issue. Vows are not to be taken because vows mean obligations, and ultimately, like their standpoint is that when you make a vow, you are committing yourself to a particular thing, and also taking on sort of the religious expectations, right? The God that you're making this vow in front of God, and so that there's some sort of like I don't know how to. Why am I blanking on my words here? Like there is a life or death sort of issue going on, and so the issue that the text is taking is that because she is the responsibility of her male owner, so to speak, he would annul it because he doesn't want the heat of the vow, right? Like, yeah, that to me is the issue. The fundamental issue is that there is this I don't know how to like just as this is going to sound so horrible, and I'm not saying that it's my opinion, but this is like what the text is trying to say. Just as a farmer is responsible for the goring ox, so too is the husband responsible for the words of his wife.
I know, and it shouldn't be that way, sir. I'm sorry.
I'm with you. That's why I preface it. I'm like, this is not my.
The matter is
yeah.
that what they're saying is, I make a vow to God that I can't keep. And the person who will then become responsible for it is the father or the husband, because they allowed me to keep my... Shut the fuck up with all that. If this doesn't show you that a bunch of misogynists and fucking goat herders wrote this, I don't know what does. These men loved men. They hated women. And they did everything they could to suppress them. And these people are no better than the Taliban, who is now saying today that women can no longer hear the voices of other women. They don't want us to think, they don't want us to talk, and they certainly don't even want our own stories to belong to us. And that shows in Dinah in the anti-sermon from earlier today. They fucking hate us. And in turn, that makes this God hate us. And Jesus hates us. This is a religion to men, for men, by men.
Shrew. It's okay. Sorry, Crystal. My dog wanted to chime in. She's not very happy about that. Because I'm going to try and share something, but not have it be a trauma thing either. Because I agree with that statement. So when I first presented as a girl to my father in a physical way, in a very real way, it was met with some extreme violence. And I'm dealing with it now, and I'm doing pretty good with it. But because how dare I be a woman in this faith? How dare I not be what he needed me to be as the oldest son of the oldest son of the oldest son, and carry on this Catholic legacy of whatever. So yeah, they hate women.
And the fact is that even the T in the LGBT is proof of that, because the only fucking time these men have a problem is when it's a trans woman. And the reason they have that fucking problem is because they're afraid they're losing men. They don't ever give a fuck about the men's bathroom and that trans men might go in there. They don't give a fuck that trans men might join the men's sports. They don't give a fuck about any of that. They're so threatened by vaginas and by women and by femininity and by anything that doesn't lift them up or build their little fragile egos up. It's so fucking it's exhausting.
And I will sort of prove this point with one more thing that's also sort of a trauma moment, but again, I'm old, I'm past a lot of this. So when I came out again at 13, I went to Catholic conversion therapy. They made me hate femininity so much that then I thought I was a gay man, and I'm a lesbian. Now that I've unpacked all of that stuff, I'm back to how I was before, a woman who loves women. That's how I always was.
That's awesome.
Right? But that's how much they don't like women. They were fine with me being a gay man instead of being a woman.
Exactly. And that is why there's even a problem within the LGBTQIA plus community, because there's so many transphobes within the community, because they also cannot handle that. And it stems so much often from these religions, because this is what people get indoctrinated into when they are still children. Hang on 1 second, I gotta let my kitty out. Go on, kitty. Okay, anyway, so hey, Dr. Joshua Bowen isn't here. Should we talk about slavery? Maybe I'll come back and get me off my rants. But these are the reasons why I don't think women should be Christian. I don't think that a God who sees me as an animal. The next time a Christian says that your husband is supposed to love you like Christ loves the church, hey, Zenerators, yes, you did appear, Bar. I'm going to remind them that a husband is somebody who comes from like the word husbandry, and that it means taking care of animals. That I'm just a mere animal for him to take care of. It's crazy to me. I still don't get why any marginalized person at all would be a Christian at all. Whether thank you, Bar. I don't get why anybody who is LGBTQIA would be a Christian. I don't get why women are Christian. I do not get why anybody black or brown or anything. I don't get why they are Christian. I don't get it. This religion hates you.
I don't either.
They have nothing but contempt for you. They don't care about your rights. They don't see you as a human. You know, it's crazy to me. Rab, did I scare you away now?
I'm shaking in my
No,
boots.
that's the
No, I'm just kidding. I gotta take myself.
that's the verse that I keep bringing up to Christian men, though, Rab. And I'm sorry, that's Doug's home. He's here. That's the verse I keep bringing up, and the Christian men have just lost their ever-loving mind on those verses, and they end up crashing out and leaving usually when I bring those up.
What do they?
There's
What do
so
they
many
crash out
other I
over?
could bring up.
What do they crash out over?
Over
Sorry.
the verses where I say that God doesn't allow me to have my own vows, even to Him, you know.
Yeah.
And then they try to bring up like
Well, what do they crash out
Genesis
over?
and like
Sorry. Like what is
they
it
end
that
up
they're?
just crashing out in general. Like they don't tell me what they're so upset about. Instead, though, they try to pivot and go to Genesis and tell me that I got because I used to have the topic, where is free will for women in the Bible? And they would tell me it's Genesis, when I'm made in God's image. That's my free will. That doesn't say anything about free will. Okay, who says God has free will? I mean, you haven't even proved that yet. So just be made in His image does not automatically give me free will.
I guess I don't understand. Like, have you seen Zootopia 2 by any chance?
I don't know if I have or not.
No, I didn't even know there was one.
I don't know.
It
I
is.
love the first one.
Yeah, the first one was great. The second one is, it is truly the Jewish story. It is a powerful group of cats that have taken the book that and actually I don't want to ruin it if people are going to watch it. Anyway, just watch it. And
No, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, spoiler alerts. It is the story of a powerful group of cats that have stolen the book that the snakes wrote to provide like the instructions on how to build this society of equity, and then the snakes are blamed in a blood libel for unaliving one of the animals, and the lynxes, who have now taken ownership of the book, use the book to blame the snakes for all of the world's problems. And one snake is going to make it his life's mission to help the snakes return to their tiny little homeland that has been covered in snow by the lynxes. And by the way, I'll give you one guess as to what color the snakes are.
I don't know. I don't know
Blue,
what.
blue and white. The snakes are blue and white. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but point being that that the Christianity, and frankly Islam too, has done everything in its power to use this book to blame Jews for all the world's problems and not take any ownership in the imperialism that Islam and Christianity has imposed upon the world, and have instead laid it at the feet of the Jewish people, time and time again.
It always was crazy to me. I remember one time asking my mom when I was a young Christian why people hated Jewish people. And she told me that they blamed Jewish people for crucifying Christ. But even as a young Christian girl, I was like, but that's not what the story says. And she was like, what do you mean? And I said, well, the story says that it's every time I sin that he gets another stripe on his back, right? Every time I sin, he is crucified. It is me, the Christian, who crucified Christ on that cross that day. And I didn't understand how people who were Christians didn't know that that was the lore.
And even if you take the deicide claim, right? Even if you follow that train of thought, to be angry with the Jewish people doesn't make any sense either, because the whole story depends on the unaliving.
Exactly. It would just be, nobody's mad at Judas, right? No Christian ever goes, oh my God, I hate Judas so much. He was such a dick for what he did. They go, no, he had to do what he had to do. Otherwise, we would not have Jesus as a sacrifice.
And the irony is that Judas is a placeholder. Like Judas is a homonym with Judah, Yehudi. Like if you were to look at Judas in Greek, it would look the same as Jewish in Greek as well. And there's actually an interesting interpretation where Judas saying, "Is it me that will betray you?" Some might interpret it as him saying, "Let it be me," or like, "May it be me," or like I volunteer as tribute, sort of thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point being that this deicide claim is nonsense. The claim that Jews control the world, or the media, or any of these claims that people have been claiming, or that Jews are responsible for unaliving children, like all of these unbelievable claims are what drives this anti-Semitic trope, and is frankly baked into the philosophy of Christianity. It is foundational to Christianity. It is the basis for the eschatological response to why Jesus hasn't come back, or Jesus hasn't fulfilled what Jesus claimed Jesus would fulfill, because of the Jews.
Yeah. Because
the Jews still don't believe, and the Jews have not accepted, and the Jews, everybody's obsessed. They hate us because they hate us.
But that did sound like you said anus at the end there, but
Oh, I said it that way on purpose. Yeah, they hate us because they ain't us.
Oh, okay. Hey, Nick.
It's a double entendre.
It is a double entendre.
Hello, Crystal.
How are you?
Rabbi, Holy, hello.
Nick, I wrote a new song and I've been playing it over and over and over again, annoying everybody in the comments. Do you want to hear it too?
Absolutely. I'm here to annoy people in comments.
Okay, well, you can go first, though. You were going to say something, and then I'll play it for you.
Oh, I was just going to say, why should women be Christian? Well, here's the thing. When some mother effer decides to break into the wrong damn house, he's going to need someone there to read his last rites. And
yeah, that's true.
That's about the only thing I can think of.
But maybe he doesn't deserve his last rite.
Yeah, maybe not. But I wanted to add to what Rabbi was saying. They're so quick to blame the Jews, but they've never stopped to think Jesus hasn't come back because they're a bunch of fucking disappointments.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, just passing the buck continuously, but you know.
Continuously.
Um,
I told a Christian the other day, they said, well, I would talk to you guys, but like you don't even have the spirit, so you wouldn't understand. I said, what are you fucking talking about? Do you even fucking know what the Great Commission is, bitch? Of course you're supposed to talk to people who don't have the spirit yet. That's the fucking Great Commission. And if you don't know what that is, then I don't know what to tell you. You don't know your religion. But you are supposed to come out and talk to us heathens. That is your fucking job, okay? And of course I don't have the spirit yet. That is your job to help me see that. That's so dumb. More excuses than they have, brains for sure.
well, literally, that's all they ever have is excuses, especially when you point out that they're breaking the laws, even New Testament laws. It's excuses on top of excuses on top of excuses, and it's like your baby Jesus ain't coming back because your disappointments. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But if they want to continue to blame the Jewish people for Jesus not returning because the Jewish people failed to convert, then I only have one thing to say. Thank you for holding the line.
To quote Dana Carvey as the church lady from classic Saturday Night Live in the 90s, how convenient.
Yes. I love Dana Carvey. Okay, Nick, here's the song that everybody loves. It's, the number one song now in this chat.
Wait, before you do that, Crystal, I have to go and do some other stuff. Thank you for letting me up. It was fun and lively.
Katie, thank you for being here.
It's good to see
I
you.
hope that you don't go like, Crystal's crazy. I'm never going up on her live again.
Absolutely not. I'm on your page. I'm with you.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you guys make sure you're following Holy Ghosted Katie because she's amazing. And thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, you guys. I'm going to play my newest song because I can't get enough of it. And today has been one of those days that I want these people to hear this song, okay? Here we go. Why didn't you play? Sorry, that's not it.
Block, blockity, block, 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 bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah, if this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit the block, you know you should. Did I make you mad? Did I piss you off? Don't like the way I mock and scoff. You MAGA, pro-ICE, anti-LGBT, Nazi adjacent, transphobe energy, misogyny baked in your theology, supremacy culture wrapped up as morality. If that's you, don't wait, don't debate. Hit that block now, bitch, don't hesitate. Don't stall, don't fake, I didn't come to play. Ain't got time to fuck with you today. Listen, motherfucker, if you won't engage, if you won't look twice at the words I say, then hit that block, do it clean, do it quick, no comments, no sermons, no last minute tricks. You think I need your God to be whole and pure? I'm atheist, feminist, solid and sure. I ain't into the grift, it's all a facade, it's a patriarchal system, so does God. Block me, bitch, don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now, ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick around. Block me now. Block me now. Yeah, pro-ICE, pro-Trump, red head on display. Same playbook as the KKK. You cheer for K, this call it law. Where the fuck is the line drawn? If you rather fund wars than feed the kids, if you voted for a 34-time convicted felon, if you couldn't vote for a woman to save your life, hit block now, bitch. Exit right. Oh fuck, I said a naughty word. I see you strangling on your pearls. This song's vulgar, yeah, so is hate, so is power hoarder behind church and state. Supremacy ain't culture, it's rot. Silence ain't peace, it's but. You capitalism feeds bombs, not bread, and you call that values? Nah, block me instead. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my brow. With that block, don't stick bitch. So now what? This ain't politics, this is belief. If my morals hit nerves, find your relief. No essays, no cries, no back and forth. Hit block. Hope your access to door. Lambo. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate. I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my fucking brow.
What the hell does that have to do with the Catholic Church, Nicholas? What the fuck is that?
Man, I just about like choked on my coffee. I just like what? What?
Well, I never wrote it about the Catholic Church, but I could have added them in there, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, just
Ursula,
because.
I don't believe. Oh, go ahead, Nicholas.
Oh, I just
don't believe that Christians. Oh. I'll answer the question real quick, then I'll let you go. I just don't believe that Christians actually believe in miracles. I think they say they do, but when put into practice, they think everything is a coin toss. I don't think they really believe in it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nicholas.
I got a long laundry list of crap that the Catholic Church has done to people, and dangerous dogmatic teachings that they still do to this day, just because a random grouping of cardinals finally got off their asses and spoke out against the administration and what the frozen people are doing doesn't mean that you guys are any less guilty. I have, in fact, encountered many Catholics on here that are less than, well, they're quite unseelie. Let's just say that. So I about choked on my coffee. I mean, this Catholic innocence spiel is getting really old considering the history of the church.
Grandma Zana says in chat that she did believe in miracles, and I thought I did too. But when I listened to the excuses that Christians give for why miracles don't happen, I used those same excuses. And now I'm starting to realize, did I really believe that miracles would happen? Because I did always have an excuse for why they didn't happen. I always had an excuse. If you asked me to pray over somebody to grow a limb back, I totally would have been like, okay, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Why? Why do miracles stop at biology? The things that people claim are miracles, they only attribute them to be miracles. Nothing about it is miraculous. They'll go, oh, well, I was sick and I prayed and I got better. Yeah, people get better. That's fucking science. What happened that was miraculous?
Oh, the statue over in this country can cry tears of blood. Get the fuck off. I mean,
yeah, right.
Basic Catholic history.
You don't
there
have
were
verified
a whole
shit, RC. You don't have verified shit.
No.
The Catholic Church has fucking stories that they tell you, and you go, okay. But the fact of the matter is, they won't let scientists verify their shit. They won't let any independent sources verify their shit. They just tell fucking stories.
Yep.
And every time we ask for prayer, they go, oh, he's not a genie. That's my goofy voice.
Cute. We have historical records that show that when King Henry was wiping out all of the monasteries, the number ones they were going through were the ones who were quotation mark faking the miracles. They would use stuff like duck blood to make the statues and stuff weak. We know these miracles aren't verified. Henry himself, way back when in the 1500s, even called them out for it. So, I mean, there is no verified miracles. There's just gullible
one
people.
That people used to go and like drink the water from the tears or something, and then eventually they found out that was sewage people were drinking. It was so gross.
That is so gross. Hey, Ursula.
It was so gross. So the reasons I have these on top, I don't believe Christians believe in miracles. Every time we've asked them to pray, they always say God's not a genie. That's not how God works. Sometimes God says no. That's not what the Bible says, though. The Bible says anything that you ask in my name, I will give it to you so that the Father can be glorified through the Son. And every time, all I hear is excuses for why children are still suffering, excuses for why God doesn't cure cancer, excuses for why nobody has miraculously ever, oh, thank you, godless, nobody has ever grown a limb back, from prayer. Okay. And also, how come it's not instantaneously? Like, if I'm sick and you pray over me, why am I not immediately all of my flu-like symptoms gone? And I get out of bed and I start dancing to Block Me Now. Like, why not? Why doesn't that happen? Thank you, Godless Engineer. I appreciate you. You guys, Godless Engineer is going to be on my show a week from Sunday on Decon Q&A with Crystaljae. I'm super excited. And then the last Sunday in February, I have Thinker. So I'm really excited. I'm getting some great guests. And I'm really excited about that.
So what was his name? RC and FE. Okay, so if it was backed by science, right? That means an official article would have been written. So can you please cite your source? Because I would like to see who the scientist was that looked into this and read the official article. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to see the paper on it for sure. Hey, CF Jewel, happy Friday. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining us, I really haven't had any believers up today. What has happened was some dude wanted to come and talk about the politics of France. Everybody started talking about that. And when I stated what I think, and here was my statement, I don't think that any teacher in public school should wear anything that shows their religion or have anything religious about them, because I think that could lead to indoctrination of children. I do, however, believe that children should be allowed to wear whatever their religious belief is into the school. That is different, okay? And I think those two things are different. And for saying that, he called me an Islamophobe and told me that that me and Katie, we better not go pew some mosques. I do not know how you draw that to being that I'm Islamophobic, okay? I'm actually anti all Abrahamic religions, but what? How the fuck? So I went off, you guys. Like, Dark Crystal, be damned. Like, I fucking went off. That I had 2 restrictions until just a minute ago. The restrictions finally lifted, but I did go off. And then I had said my problem is with boundaries. I do not believe that people will hold to boundaries if you allow this. And this guy, after I blocked him the first time, went and made another account and came back up to say more shit like that. You're proving my point right now that people like you can't handle boundaries. You can't handle consent. You're proving the point, sir. I don't want you here. What are my thoughts of Christian mysticism? You need a dark. Well, see, I have the dark crystal behind me. Don't I have a dark crystal emoji? I thought I used to have one. Maybe I need to make one. Don't I have the red eye crystal sticker thing? I don't know. I have to say that I'm kind of.
Yo.
Hey, Evil Beef, how are you? Can I get your age?
27.
Okay. What do you want to talk about today?
All right, I want to talk about number one. Christians don't believe in miracles. Could you prove that?
Um, from all my talks with Christians, whenever I ask them to pray, they tell me that that's not how it works.
Well, that's just an appeal to self. I mean, you're just judging based off of your own experience. It doesn't mean that all Christians don't believe in miracles. And that's not even a miracle, that's just prayer.
No, I ask them to pray specifically for a miracle, and they tell me they can't.
Sorry?
I ask
Are
them to
you
pray
current?
specifically.
Are you currently driving?
Nah. It's just my microphone is like really bad.
Okay, but
could you say that one more time? You cut out.
Yeah, so I can literally hear your vehicle in the background, and I can hear the movement of the steering wheel. Like I wasn't born yesterday.
Why don't you come back up when you have a better microphone? If you're saying that's your microphone, my friend, you need to fix that, okay?
I don't know why Christians continues to want to put people's lives in danger just to have a debate on TikTok. It's fucking wild to me.
It is. Yeah, W concessions. If that's really like, if you think you won something, Evil Beep, go give yourself a gold star. Put that right there on your forehead and tell everybody you beat a 60-year-old lady at a debate on TikTok. If that's what you need to make your day better, I want you to have that, okay? You go have that shit.
And Beef, stop putting people's lives in danger and pull over. Like, seriously, you think you won something? Okay, 40-year-old mama bearing me right now. 40-year-old mama bearing me right now. You think you won something? You think you won something? Go pull over the car and stop putting people's lives in danger and grow up.
Hey, Rab, welcome back.
What did I miss?
He said that I can't prove that Christians don't believe in miracles, and I was trying to explain to him that in all my conversations with Christians, they have shown me that they don't, because there's always an excuse for why they can't do something miraculous. And then Nicholas pointed out he was driving, so so he got removed for driving. But the thing is, and then he said that was an appeal to self. Well, bitch, I can only tell you from my life experience, like what I've experienced. And what I've experienced is that Christians don't believe in miracles. Like, what else do you want me to, like, I can't tell you it from your experience. If you have a different experience, tell me how it differs. I'd like to hear about it.
Miracles when you believe. But right now, miracles when you believe. It's from the Prince.
The score for that movie had no business hitting as hard as it did. I'm just saying.
Do you know who wrote The Prince of Egypt?
Was that?
No.
The same person that wrote the musical Pippin, the same person that wrote The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the same person that wrote Godspell, the same I think Godspell. I could be wrong about Godspell. I'll have to double check. And the same person that wrote Wicked, Stephen Schwartz.
That explains a lot.
Who is it?
Stephen Schwartz.
Oh, I'm not. I don't. I
J-O-O.
I don't know who. But it was a great. It was a great soundtrack. Yeah. No, I was thinking it was how stupid is that I don't know who any of these people are. Like I would have just said Andrew Lloyd Webber only because it's the only person I know who writes.
Didn't Andrew Lloyd Webber do Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Maybe. If Christians definitely believe in miracles, please come up, Thurston, and talk to us. By the way, here are my 3 topics today. Christians don't believe in miracles. Why should women be Christians? And I'm an atheist. Let's go question for question. Lick for lick.
I was right.
So my
Sorry.
Oh,
so
really?
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
By day. So dumb. Sorry.
Day by day, these 3 things I pray to see things more clearly. Day by day. Follow the morning leaf.
Also, Wicked is a great example of the Jewish story as well. A book being used against a minority people that are being driven into silence and into obscurity because of their belief structure or their practice, I should say, namely the animals and, of course, Ephaba.
I have not watched. I have watched Wicked live. I have not watched the whole movie yet. I started watching on my flight home from Austin, and I had 2 Delta flights. And on my way out, I had 2 Delta flights, and I was able to watch one movie through the 2 flights, right? So on my way home, I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and start this, even though my first flight isn't that long. I'll just watch the rest of it on the second flight. On the second flight, there was nothing to watch it on, so didn't end up seeing the end of it yet.
I first saw Wicked on Broadway. Like, that was my introduction to Wicked. And at the end, first of all, I didn't know it was the end of the first act. And I'm like bawling my eyes out, like clapping, like so. And I put on my jacket. I took our teens from our synagogue to New York, and we took them to see Wicked. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, that's the end of the show. Like, because I thought that, Defying Gravity was the end of the show. Like, I was like, how could they possibly go on from here? So I put my jacket on. I was ready to leave. Just the end of the first half.
Yeah, you would have missed out.
Yeah.
I
Everybody's
get
like,
I
sit
get
down.
crucified a lot because I didn't like it.
Oh, really? I really enjoyed it.
Uh,
Well, I saw it live. In Wichita, so it wasn't Broadway, but it was the Broadway
yeah.
production of Wicked, and
Well, you have the right to be
I
wrong,
loved
Nick.
it. It was great. Yeah, we will allow you that.
We'll allow it this
Mm.
time. I think it was just too girly for me, and the fact that what's her pickle kept saying words weird and wrong.
Oh,
Trying
yeah.
to be
What's her
cutesy. I was
pickle?
like,
What's
Schmagification.
her pickle?
yeah, yes. I was like, I can't do this. I'm screaming. I'm internally screaming. And of course it was a date night, so I couldn't like be verbally puking. So it was like I'm gonna ride this out for date night. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. It's a one-off. It just reminded me too much of the girls that I went to high school with, and it was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I think
But
that's
that's the point.
exactly.
That's
That's
the
the point.
point.
Uh,
That's the whole point. She's supposed to annoy you in that specific way.
Get
But
under your
also,
skin.
I am one of those people that there are certain characters that do get under my skin. And even though that's the point, I can't stand it either. So I feel you on that for sure. I can't think of one right now, but certainly, okay, this is going to make me seem really fucking old, and only about 3 people in the audience will know what the fuck I'm talking
Well, I
about.
was born in
But
1948, so I think we'll be just kidding. I was born in 1945.
what one was it? One Day at a Time is the one with the mother and the 2 daughters, Natalie Bertinelli or whatever. Is that One Day at a Time? Is that the show? Is that what it's called? Let me look. Have to double check now. One Day at a Time TV. I think it's One Day at a Time. Why are you so slow right now? Just no. But I want the original. Yeah, okay. One Day at a Time had a super, and if you don't, thank you. It was Valerie Bertinelli. You knew what I meant. Okay, I said Natalie Bertinelli. What the fuck? Anyway, it had a remake, which, by the way, I loved the remake. It's a Cuban American family living in Los Angeles. But the original, I digress, was a single mother with 2 daughters living in, I want to say, New York. And if you don't live in a building like that, you don't know that the person who does all your fixes stuff is called a super. And they had a super on that show called Schneider. And he was so fucking annoying. I hated him so much. And everybody always tell me that's the point. I'm like, okay, well then they did their job because I fucking hate him. Like, I don't know what you want from me. I still hate him. He's so annoying. He was creepy. You know? I don't know. My little spidey senses went off whenever he showed up. Like, I didn't like it. Those 3 women and that super coming around, and he was creepy. He was so irritating, right? Like, am I wrong? He was so irritating. Yeah, Ashra agrees, Nicholas. Awful characters make Ashra lose interest
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I mean, I did appreciate the
Oh,
undertones
it
that they
was
were
in
trying to
Cincinnati?
convey in the movie, like when the animals were slowly getting locked up, taken away, and what they were doing to the monkeys near the end. Like I did appreciate those undertones, but it was just too over the top girly for me, which kind of ruined it. I mean, I get it, family fun musical, but I think that movie could have been a lot more appreciated if they kept up with the dark undertones. I think it would have been more impactful, but that's just me.
That's the second. So for good is definitely that's really where that all gets developed,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's less focused on Linda.
Galinda.
Linda.
Galinda.
You guys, I am gonna be wrapping things up, and it's in about 10 minutes. I need to eat some lunch, and then I need to go find a nice, quiet little place to set up because I've been asked to be on Girls Gone Godless, and so I'm gonna be joining them at 3:00. I know, how fun, huh? And so I will play some music for you because I know this is more about me than it is anybody else. But what do you want me to play? Do you want me to play Block Me? You Saw It. Abelina Ballerina, Consent, Water's Edge, Ex Parte, Miss Me with That Misogyny, No Kings, No Gods. Do you want the new song? Do you want an old song? What do you guys want to hear today? Let me know in the comments. Hey, Open Book, good to see you. Abelina Ballerina. Here we go, you guys. This is Abelina Ballerina. My album Ex Parte is available everywhere you stream music. I wrote the lyrics. I did not write the music or do the vocals. That's done by Suno. But I did write the lyrics to all of my songs. And this one is called Abelina Ballerina. Wait, really quick pause. Hey, Devil's Public Defender. Is he playing a banjo or a
mandolin? It's a mandolin.
It is a mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
In my video, I put a banjo because I thought
it's okay. It's got the Americana. You got the Americana thing going.
Okay. Back to the song.
Abelina Ballerina, spinning in her tutu. All the world's a stage, lacing up her ballet shoes. Abelina Ballerina, they applaud as you dance. You're so precious, little angel. Dance away if you can. Abelina Ballerina, wooden floor counting time. In the mirror, she's a swan, arabesque in pink tights. Abelina Ballerina, sitting still in a pew. Preacher says that light you feel doesn't really come from you. They tell her every step is borrowed, her plie heaven sent. And for every bow she's taken, she's got something to repent. Abelina Ballerina, stand still, don't twirl, it's your fault if they're not holy. So be a good little girl. Abelina Ballerina, preacher says, let us pray. Closes the door so no one hears. Calls it a special game. He says Says this is guidance, says she's holy, full of grace. Claims God needs her silence, blessed are those that obey. Abelina ballerina, the light has left her eyes. She no longer hears the music, and her steps are out of time. Abelina ballerina, remember how you twirled, who's to blame if they're not holy? You're still just a little girl. Abelina ballerina, stand still, don't twirl, it's your fault if they're not holy. So be a good little girl. Abelina ballerina, those aren't butterflies you feel. Life grows heavy inside you, child. There's no way to conceal. They say her name like a warning. Obedience her only crime. While he preaches purity, taking them for every dime. Abelina ballerina learns what judgment cost, learns who gets forgiven and who pays the loss. Abelina ballerina learns to mother through the ache, learns that love can still be sacred even after what they take. She devours her education and her eyes begin to shine. Music pours out from within her and her steps fall back in time. She reads the words they cherry-picked, preaches truth they try to hide. She interrogates the God, she uncovers every lie. She shows why nothing ever changes, who the system benefits. Men of God who feed on power, abuse, shame, and the grift. Abelina ballerina, show me how you twirl, spinning in the sunlight, dancing with your little girl. Abelina ballerina, dancing center stage again. Abelina ballerina, dancing barefoot in the sun. You're so precious, little angel, and your dance has just begun.
I invited a Christian up. They said, I'm a Christian and believe in miracles, but they didn't want to come up and talk about that, I guess. I'm going to leave us on an up note because that was kind of a downer, but she does reclaim herself in the end. I always like to make a positive note at the end of my writing, don't you see? So she does end up, being a good mom and taking center stage again, okay? Don't be sad for her. She's okay.
You should write it as a part 2 where she where it turns into a Schmurder ballad.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to do consent now and then at the end, I'm going to play Block Me one more time because I just love that song right now. Okay, so here's consent.
CONS.
CONSENT. Consent. It's not an option to me. Consent. Respect the boundaries. CONSENT. No praying. No praying. No touch, don't speak to me without my fucking CONSENT. You love your neighbor, but you better ask first. You prey on trauma with that holy thirst. You'll catch these hands if you lay hands on me without my fucking CONSENT. Hey, if you don't get a yes, you'll never have consent. Wife submit, bitch, don't get it bad. My body ain't a toy, dude, don't even play without consent. Keep your filthy hands away. No praying, no praying, no touch, don't speak to me without my fucking CONSENT. follow me and don't ask why. Heaven's full of godly men do tell and send me first class straight to heaven. This is my yes, my no is a no. Bitch, learn your scripture. Learn your scriptures. If you know, you know. You quote the Bible when it benefits you. My consent ain't subject to you. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. 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 No praying. No praying. No touch, don't speak to me without my fucking C-O-N-S-E-N-T.
By the way, if you're not following these two amazing people right here, this is Rab and Nicholas. They are two of my dearest friends. Make sure you're following them. They are amazing. Rab will jump up every once in a while. I just heard him like schooling a BHI over on Joel's Live yesterday or the day before. That was really fun. And Nicholas does go live whenever he feels like it, I guess. And Nicholas is really fucking smart, knows a lot about all kinds of religious things. But one of the things that I really like is how much they know about hell and where that really comes from and what the teachings really mean. So make sure that you're following both of my amazing friends. I'm going to play Block Me. Hopefully you guys won't block me because this isn't written for you. It's written for people like the guy who wouldn't shut up today and shut the fuck up. Like it was written for him, okay? So we're going to end today on Block Me. I will see you on, not Sunday, not this Sunday because it's Super Bowl Sunday. But I will see you on Monday, and I will have a new anti-sermon for you. My anti-sermon podcast comes out at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday on Spotify podcast. So check that out. Just a fair warning, the first few sermons are going to be pretty short, and you're going to go, oh, these are really nice and short. They don't stay short. I learned how to write more as I go along. They tend to sometimes get longer. I'm sorry. It's just my thing. But anyway, here we go. You guys block me, but don't block me. But this is the song Block Me.
Block, blockity, block, 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 bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah. If this makes you uncomfortable, good.
Mama Bash,
The block.
this is the song you told me to write. Wait, I gotta bring her up. Hopefully she'll come up. I finished it.
You did? Let me hear it. Okay.
Yeah, you ready? This is
Yes.
it. Here you go.
Block, blockity, block, 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 bitch, I ain't gonna stop, so go ahead and block. Yeah. If this makes you uncomfortable, good. Hit the block. You know you should. Did I make you mad? Did I piss you off? Don't like the way I mock and scoff. You MAGA, pro-ICE, anti-LGBT, Nazi adjacent, transphobe energy, misogyny baked in your theology, supremacy culture wrapped up as morality. If that's you, don't wait, don't debate. Hit that block now, bitch. Don't hesitate. Don't stall, don't fake. I didn't come to play. Ain't got time to fuck with you today. Listen, motherfucker, if you won't engage, if you won't look twice at the words I say, then hit that block, do it clean, do it quick, no comments, no sermons, no last minute tricks. You think I need your God to be whole and pure? I'm atheist, feminist, solid and sure. I ain't into the grift, it's all a facade, it's a patriarchal system, so does God. Block me, bitch, don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now, ain't no sweat off my brow. Hit that block, don't stick, round. Block me now. Block me now. Yeah, pro-ICE, pro-Trump, red head on display. Same playbook as the KKK. You cheer for K, just call it law. Where the fuck is the line drawn? If you rather fund wars than feed the kids. If you voted for a 34-time convicted felon. If you couldn't vote for a woman to save your life. Hit block now, bitch. Exit right. Oh fuck. I said a naughty word. I see you strangling on your pearls. This song's vulgar. Yeah, so is hate. So is power hoarder behind church and state. Supremacy ain't culture. It's rot. Silence ain't peace. It's art. You capitalism feeds bombs, not bread, and you call that values? Nah, block me instead. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me, now. Ain't no sweat off my brow. If that block don't stick, block me now. Block me now. You gon' better go ahead and block me now. I'm not shrinking, I'm loud as fuck. I'm still here, bitch, so now what? This ain't politics, this is belief. If my morals hit nerves, find your relief. No essays, no cries, no back and forth. Hit block, hope your access to door. Block me, bitch. Don't hesitate, I see you flinch. Block me now. Ain't no sweat off my fucking brow.
That was Mama Bash told me to write that song. And,
Wow,
and so I
wow,
did.
wow, Crystal, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Absolutely, y'all. That is crazy. I love it.
Thank you so much. I've been writing all week, and then for some reason this morning I was like, I know, like, because I kept like writing and rewriting, and I was like, I know how I want it to be, and so I did it this morning, and then I went into Suno because there's many ways to use Suno. One of them is you give it musical prompts. I always do my own prompts. I do not have it just generate because I think that each song has a different feel you want for it. So I make up my own musical prompts. But then you can also go out and edit and surgically fix certain areas of the song. So I was doing that before I went live this morning. And I was like, this is amazing. Like it just fell together.
I love it. Oh, I love it. That is awesome, Crystal.
I will make a video for it later, you guys, and we'll put it up on my thing. But it is the first song in my next album. I don't know what the whole album's going to be about. I kind of let the songs just come to me as they do. And then I make an album out of it. So, but yeah, that's the new one. I am going to be signing off. But while Mama Bash is here, we are going to be together on Wednesday on Station Head. It's an app. Go download the app. Make sure you're following Yaya BB. Okay, it's YAYABEEB. There it is, right in the chat there on Station Head. She's going to interview me, and we're going to listen to my album Ex Parte. So make sure you guys join us on Wednesday.
Yes,
on
Wednesday
Station
at 12 noon Central. 12 noon.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I am too, man.
All
I'm
right,
so looking
that's
forward
awesome.
to that.
Who can we raid right now? Is there somebody live right now, y'all?
Thinker's live.
Like some. Oh, okay. Let's raid Thinker. Everybody. By the way, Thinker will be on my show, Decon Q&A with Crystaljae, on the last Sunday in February. I forget what the date. I think it's the 22nd. So make sure that you save that date as well. We go live right after Atheist Sunday School with Mezzo. So around 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 3 p.m. today, I'm going to be with Girls Gone Godless, but I think that's a podcast, so that's a recorded thing. So anyway, all right, you guys, go raid Thinker and tell her that Crystal loves her. I love you guys. I'll see you around the mean streets of TikTok and YouTube. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Mama Bash.
A 13-year-old. We're just going to see historical sites, have some fun. I'm gonna drink my ass off in bars on Sunday and watch the Super Bowl.